Hoka, hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita Livestream of May the 17th, 2024. Let's talk about Our Girl, where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, Creek Indian from Denver, Colorado, and with me from the Shires in the UK is Vladi. How's it going, Vladi?
Good evening, Alita Army. Very well, thank you. And you?
Real good, real good. Yeah, I didn't want to pull the stunt that I did yesterday on the Zoom call where I fell asleep on the couch for this one.
Is that what's happened to Angelus? He was up hours ago. How is he still not here?
Well, it was pretty early when he got up for our Zoom call a couple of hours ago. It was 5 o'clock in the morning, and believe you me, I
was so confused why he was there.
Yeah, so anyway, it's but he said he'd be on, so if he's a little late, we'll cut him some slack on that one. So how's it going there, Vladi?
Not too bad. Having lots of existential crises at the moment.
Yeah, I guess things in jolly old England are doing well, huh?
The weather's nicer. It's been nice to go for a few walks now.
Oh, that's good. And from Brisbane in Queensland, Australia, it's our Angelus. How's it going, Angelus?
In a couple of months, it'll be Austin, Texas.
Yes, it will. That's right. Is it a couple of months? I
think it's less than that when you're out.
May, June.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like 6 weeks, isn't it, or something like that?
6 to 8. Yeah.
Can you do a live stream when you're there?
We're going to do our best.
In the same room.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do about that. You know.
Sick.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, we want to try to get on, try to get on Troublemaker Studios if we can.
Don't forget to bring wire cutters.
Say again, Vladi?
Don't forget to bring wire cutters to Troublemaker Studios. You might need them.
Oh, no, we won't.
They're probably not going to let you in.
Nah. Well, all we can do is try. I mean, if they don't let us in, they won't let us in.
Have you tried to reach them yet? It's only 6 weeks away, he said.
Yeah, I tried here a while back. I called and nobody answered. So, but I'll try again. We'll keep trying until we get them. And I know someone that might be able to get us on too. So we'll see how that goes.
I'll just have to make sure that I bring my dog tags.
Yes, indeed.
See, I'm part of the Alita Army.
Yeah, that's right.
It could be worth asking people we know that we've interviewed, like Selena. They might be able to they might get more like contacting Troublemaker on your behalf.
Yeah,
That's because you know them, you've spoken to them.
Yeah, well, I know someone who might also, so we'll keep trying and we'll do our best. One thing we are going to do though is that we are going to go to the spot where the ship, supposedly was crashed, but of course there's no ship there. But I think at some point, I think it was might have been Enigma Seeker, and I can't remember the name of the other guy that was with him. They went there because I remember seeing a photo of them there. But we'll have 2 photos of Alita Army members at that spot. What's that place called? Angelus Lake something or other.
McKinney Falls.
Yeah, McKinney Falls. Yeah. That's
McKinney Falls.
Yeah, that's right. So we're gonna check that place out, and we're gonna have a good old time there, I think. And Angelus has already made me promise that I'll have at least 1 beer with him because I'll have a competition coming up about 2 weeks after that, so I can't really go overboard too much, with it. But
no.
Well,
this place looks really nice. This McKinney Falls.
1 pint would be fine, I think. So, all right. So
swimming stuff.
Say what?
You need to bring your swimming stuff to McKinney Falls. You can jump in. It looks fun.
Maybe so.
Really following Alita.
You can totally recreate Alita. Just step in. Although I make sure there's no rocks down there. Don't go by what I'm saying. I'm just saying
something tells me that they made a they may have built a ramp or something for Rosa to walk up, possibly.
Mhm.
Yeah, and put that, submerged it so she could walk the ramp, So
And she
anyway,
would
how
have maybe
is
had to been
Vegas there,
weighed
Angelus?
down. Nice and sunny, a little bit cloudy, kind of weather that bloody wishes he probably has.
I don't know. We've kind of got perfect weather right now, to be honest.
Well,
it's rare for me to ever say that.
Well, it's probably
Great
late
for,
spring there, isn't it, Angelus?
Yeah, isn't it getting cold?
Well, no, it's late. It's not late spring. I'm sorry. It'd be late autumn, I guess.
Yeah, you got them the wrong way around.
Yeah, I got them backwards.
It's late spring here.
Yeah,
Welcome
late
to
spring here, be
Queensland
late
weather.
autumn.
That's what
Okay,
Queensland
well,
weather's
anyway.
like.
Yes, indeed. Anyway, just wanted to kind of get the word out, of course, that we do have Rosa's Queen Studios Bust of Alita. And we really want to present her with this as like what the Alita Army presenting her with an award. That thing is sitting in my house right now, and it's still in the box. It has not been opened. Starvellian made me promise not to open that box. Now, if we do, get things going and say there's interest from from Rosa's agents or something about this, probably when the sequel is announced, then maybe that, I will open the box.
They could even film a presentation. It would be great on the DVD box.
Yeah, for sure, But
bust after all these years.
Well, the thing of it is when we do get that, when we finally do get to present it to her, I'm going to open that box and make sure that thing isn't broken, because that would be horrifically embarrassing if we did that, So
okay. They're quite tightly packed in. You'd have to pack them all back up again.
Yeah. So anyway, we have that, and we certainly want to present this to Rosa, as kind of our expression of admiration and appreciation and all that kind of stuff. And we want Rosa to know that we love her very much, and we are certainly glad that she was Alita. That's for sure, because she did a great job. Yep.
Could not be anyone else.
That's right.
You guys must really hate my dad jokes.
Your dad jokes? Let's hear it.
No, I love that one.
Because we are busting to give this to Rosa.
Oh, yeah, I was trying to think of one myself, but I kept thinking of rude ones, so I didn't bust in.
Yeah. And since Angelus is not a dad, how does he keep coming up with these dad jokes? I don't know. All right. Well, Finn, I can see you're out there.
Just practicing for when I meet Rosa in real life. Just saying.
That would be nice. Would be nice.
Providing that I get Uncle Creaky's approval.
Oh, yeah. You got Uncle Creaky's approval. And Rosa, it's not Rosa that it's my niece. It's Alita, Well, of course, I've heard that Rosa is Alita and Alita is Rosa. So I don't know. We would let her make that decision. I want to give a shout out to Finn. Guten Abend, Finn. Wie geht es dir heute? Yeah.
Good night, Kubi.
Yeah. Well, Guten Abend is what you would say, so.
Guten Nacht, Kubai. I'm saying good night to
Well,
Kubai.
Guten Nacht is something you say when you're maybe going to bed or something like that. Good night,
Yeah, he's going to bed.
So, yeah, exactly. And what is this that Finn is saying? How is the whatever that was?
What is it?
How was the?
Is that a car?
I can't. It's not legible. So
it looks so flat. It's hard to make out what it is, but I think it's a racing car. Could be.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that.
Why do they make it so flat? They just made it a bit taller, and then you would have been able to see what it is.
Yeah, well, I guess Finn, liebe das sehr schön von wir sprechen Deutsch. And my Deutsch is sehr schlecht, so anyway, Finn, there you go. That was my bad attempt at it, which is pretty interesting because I do have some clients over in Germany, so I get to talk to them as well, So, but anyway, that's another story. We'll get off of that.
All I can really remember how to say is Guten Morgen and Guten Nacht, I suppose.
To do what now?
All I can remember how to say is Guten Morgen. I did like a term of German.
Yeah,
and
Guten
ich bin
Morgen
means
and
I am.
Ich
bin ein Alita. What's fan in German? It's probably like Geromtefeikenstrike.
For what, Vladi?
I said, what is fan in German?
What is
Fan?
Fan? Is that what you're saying?
What is fan? Like a fan of Alita.
Oh, you're a fan. Oh, I would just say. I would just say.
I am a fan of Alita, but I couldn't get around to it.
Well, I would just say Ich liebe Alita is what I would say. So
Alita, yeah.
Yeah, Ich liebe
Fan
Alita.
is just fan. What the hell? That's very unlike German. Normally it's like 50 syllables.
Well, you would say Ich bin ein Fan von Alita.
That's boring.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be a weird word.
Yeah, and make sure you say ich, not ish.
Creaky, your creaky chair, man.
Yeah, my creaky chair.
You really go all in on it. On the creaky.
Yeah, I got to get some oil on. Can y'all hear that? Yeah, that's great.
So loud.
So anyway, it is what it is, I guess. You know,
He's doing some lifting at the same time.
Yeah,
he's doing some lifting at the same time.
Yeah, and of course, Smendrick. I guess Smendrick is really he's probably going, oh my God, these Amis and these Brits and these Aussies are trying to speak German. That's probably what Smendrick is thinking.
What do Germans call Brits, like in a derogatory way? Like, you know, like we call like Yanks, and we call the Germans the Krauts. What do the Germans call the Brits?
No, they call Americans Amis.
That's what the Germans call the Americans.
Yeah. I'm not sure what they call the Brits. I just say Brits, I guess. I don't know. And of course, I think Aussie is a universal term.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what Aussies call Brits. I was going to say tosses. But...
I thought you were going to say the C word. We probably can't even say the C word. We might actually get pulled.
What, coconut?
Well, I know coconut. What. This is great.
See you next Tuesday.
Yeah, Smendrick says we all ought to meet over in Germany. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Wow, that would be super if we could do that.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm up for it. I wouldn't mind going back to Germany. You know, I've been there I've been there once, I think. Is the only time
I don't think I've ever been to Germany.
God, Vladi, you're a lot closer to Germany than I am.
I know. I've been to France, I've been to Italy, I've been to Belgium, I've been to loads of countries, but just never Germany for some reason.
Well, if you were in Italy, were you in northern Italy?
Yeah, I was moving between it was like a skiing holiday, and we went into Italy for a bit.
Gosh, you weren't that far. You were near Austria for sure, and not too far.
Yeah, I think we went in Austria too. But I don't think we went. Maybe we did go in Germany when I was younger. Actually, I think we did do a skiing holiday in Germany.
Did you have
Germany?
All these skiing resorts just look the same when you're there.
Well, you don't want to say Germany in German. You want, and when you're in Germany, you want to say Deutschland. So
Deutschland,
yeah. So anyway, okay. Well, anyway, enough of that. The Alita sequel petition is still going on, and I think since last week's stream, we've added 6 signatures. I think so. That's almost one a day. Now you might say, well, that's not a whole lot, you know. But you know, when the thing first hit,
I think that's good.
That bunch of signatures happened really fast. You know, it went up to 150,000 pretty fast, didn't it, Vladi? Something like that.
Yeah.
And then,
what do you remember? Did I say something offensive? I almost looks threatening, that grin. It's like, I will remember this, and I'm going to get you back.
And what's this Deutschland Finn? Deutschland? Really? That's funny.
I'm still anyway, British derogatory term.
Yeah, so if folks have not signed the petition, please just click on the link. You know, there's a link down in the description below the screen here. Click on that, sign the link, and you know, you're helping us express ourselves to Disney that we want the sequel. And by the way, this particular petition was actually on the internet before James Cameron said he was working on the Alita sequels. So in other words, if you want to see more than 2 sequels, then click on it again. You know, I mean, just make sure that, you know, that we want Disney to know we want those sequels. Now, Bad Man, I don't know if you're drinking Red Bull or not, you and Finn. Finn, it'd be pretty late for you to be drinking Red Bull, I think. So it'd be that, you know, I guess. So, and of course, one other thing here too is that we still got the Hero Arm campaign going on. And we've got some exciting news on that here this week. And we had a little meeting about it just for the stream here, is that we're going to, you know, put up some money, or I have to contact, I got in touch with ST, and he hasn't heard back from, I guess, from Open Bionics yet, from Tilly's mom. So, you know, when he does, he says he's going to get us, he's going to get us in touch with each other, you know, so.
Yeah, she's great.
That's probably going to happen in the next week. And we got some money in the bank. We got over $5,200 American. I don't know what that is in euros or pounds, but it's not too bad, you know. And we want to, you know, at least give them a major portion of that money, you know, for a Hero Arm for some deserving individual, you know. What is this, Creek? What is this about Creaky as a Formula One racetrack driver? No, but you know, it's funny you mentioned that. There were a couple of Formula One race car drivers back in the 80s that were, I guess it was Guy Villeneuve, I guess, or Giles, as you say in American. And there's another guy, Jacques Villeneuve, that was also a Formula racetrack driver. I think Guy Villeneuve died. I think he was in a car accident, a car wreck, you know, I think. And Jacques Villeneuve is retired, I think. So, yeah, so whether they're my cousins or not, I would say if they are, they're probably like 8th cousins or something like that, you know. But, okay, yeah, there's some Villeneuves that are actually race car drivers. So that's a good call there, Finn. But anyway, if you want to donate to the Hero Arm campaign, no amount is too small. There's the GoFundMe link just below the image on the screen there, but there's a couple of links down in the description below the screen as well that you can click on. One of them, of course, is this link, the GoFundMe link. But if you find that a little intimidating, there's a tip jar down there. I think that some folks might think's a little more user-friendly. Just click on that and it'll say, hey, give this amount of money. It'd be a small amount, but remember, no amount is too small. That's for sure. And also this, that, you know, if you can't donate, circumstances say kind of drives you to where you can't donate, don't worry about it. If you see this, and I have tweeted this out a couple of times over the past couple of weeks, but if you see a post on social media with this, just repost it and you will have done your part to give to the Hero Arm campaign. Okay. Anything else guys want to say about any of this before we get to the main topic?
Woo-woo.
Yeah. We're going to get to that, Angelus.
Was there something else I wanted to mention? I can't remember. I think there was, but maybe I'll remember by tomorrow.
Well, was it what we talked about in the Zoom call? Is that what you want to bring up or what?
No, actually, don't worry. I can't remember now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all right.
If it comes back to me, I'll bring it up.
Okay. Yeah, you can do it at any time. Don't, you're not going to upset me if you even interrupt me. I'm okay with it, you know, so.
I know.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get to our girl then. Now, we've done a couple of streams similar to this in the past. I wanted to revisit it, but I wanted to make this one a little more comprehensive. But, you know, some of the things about Alita, you know, Alita is a pretty diverse in terms of the Alita universe, if you want to call it that, or Alitaverse. she's in not just the movie, as we all know, but she's also in the manga, and there is an anime, you know, of Alita. So whichever one you like the most, it's okay with us. You know, I mean, you know, as long as you like Alita, and even if it's not your top movie, let's say, as long as it's in the top 3, we can appreciate that, you know. So any thoughts there, Vladi?
Yeah, if you're rating the movie below an 8 out of 10, you don't exist to me.
You're
not
rate the
welcome.
movie. You do what now? You
If
said rate.
if anyone is, no, we're inclusive, but you can't rate the movie below an 8 out of 10, or else you're out.
Yeah, that's
I'm just
right.
joking anyway.
Yes. A bad man. There's a manga. Oh yeah. Yeah, there
Is that a dig
is.
at me?
Yes. He's probably gigging you, Vladi, is what he's doing.
I'm keeping the
Yes.
fandom diverse. We've got whole groups of people. We've got movie fans, we've got manga fans.
Well,
sorts.
Vladi, you are reading the manga. You have read the
Of course,
some of the
I'm
manga.
in the process of reading it, just like Cameron's in the process of making the sequels.
Yeah. Well, he is. I trust him that he is. I trust him that he is. I think he is, you know. So anyway, I guess Angelus, what about you? What's your favorite version of Alita of the 3?
Manga ultimately.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that too. I like the manga the best, you know. Not that I dislike the movie. I'd say the movie's a really close second, you know. And you know, where you rate on a scale of 10, I rate the manga as an 11 and the movie is a 10. That's the way I cover it. In the anime, I enjoyed the anime as well. You know, I think I've only seen it like maybe a couple of times, maybe 3 times. I did see it once just because I was curious after I'd been in the Alita Army, you know, for a couple of years. I watched the anime and I thought, oh, this is okay, you know, and I enjoyed
we
it
did
quite
one or
a
two
bit.
watch parties on that as well, didn't we?
Yeah, we've done some watch parties and I've seen it there too, a couple of them, you know. The only thing about that is when you stream that, it's flagged as copyright, so I have to delete it, you know, within about, you know, just a few days after that, because, you know, you don't want to get in trouble, you know what I'm saying, with the copyright gods, as they would say, you know. So Vladi, I take it you probably like the movie the best, right?
For sure. I definitely prefer, I think Rosa Salazar's Alita has something extra special to it. The manga has the same thing, obviously, too, because it comes from that.
Yes.
But for me personally, from what I've read, compared to the movie, I prefer Alita's character so far. That might all change, obviously, when I read on. But
well, for me, Rosa's portrayal of Alita really makes it super close to the manga, because Rosa was great in that movie. And I think you guys have heard the story that I've said before, but you know, when I first saw when the trailers came out in 2019, it didn't do much for me. I said, I don't want to see this. You know, I mean, teenage girls beating up on robots, you know, like that, like I thought, but probably back then. I'm not too interested in that, you know. And then, of course, when I was on a business trip, I kind of, you know, decided to stay in the hotel one night, and I was just flipping through the channels and I happened upon HBO. And of course, you know, the intro for the HBO movie of the week or whatever it was, you know, that was coming up. And then it said, you know, Alita Battle Angel. And I went, you know, and I said, well, all right, I guess I'll give it a chance, you know, I mean, because I got nothing better to do. Oh, man, it was downhill after that, because when she opened her eyes in bed, I mean, that right there set the hook. And when she said, fuck your mercy to Grishka, that she reeled me in when she said that. So that hooked me right there. And of course, now I say I like the manga better than the movie, and that's not really a fair statement, because I think, you know, for me, I saw the movie first, you know, and the movie got me inspired to read the manga, you know. And Angelus and I, a couple of years ago or 3 years ago, we were reading the manga, kind of keeping pace with each other so we could talk about it, you know. And watching the movie, getting me involved in the manga, and I saw how much depth was in the manga, and it's just tremendous, the the depth and breadth of the manga itself. And Alita, in some ways, in the manga, she's, of course, Rosa portrays Alita perfectly. But there are times when Alita is not quite like what we see in the movie. You know, she goes a little off the rails in a couple of places. You know, and of course we did see her do that in the movie too when she killed Vector, because you remember Vector was unarmed and she killed him. So that was pretty dark. You know, but the manga, you know, has got a lot more. To me, it's more gritty. You know. And in places it's much more dark, you know, and I kind of preferred that. Now, that's not to say I disliked the movie because of reading the manga. No, sir. I've seen the movie over 70 times, and that is lightweight stuff compared to some Alita Army members. But I have never seen any movie that I desired to see 70 times, you know. So anyway, I'm ranting and raving here. So anyway, Angelus, you or Vladi, what's your take on all this?
Well, which seems to be saying what's better than what, which I don't really find all that interesting. They present the world in a slightly different way, but I wouldn't say that makes, because the movie's a bit more colorful. And Kishiro even said himself, people who think it's supposed to be really dark and gritty, they just don't understand the manga. So, checkmate, Chad Kishiro, coming in to dunk on all the movie haters, saying the world's not dark enough. But it was important for it to not be dark, because that's how you see the world through Alita's innocent eyes. And then it gets darker and darker, and the sequels will be even darker.
Yeah, I think so.
Because she's going to be all moody, and that's going to change the tone and the visual tone of the movie as well. So yeah. Slightly triggered by all the comparisons.
Now, that said, though, I agree with you. That said, though, I think I would rather see them keep the PG-13 thing going, because I think if they make it R, it's going to cut out a lot of fans, you know, particularly younger fans. And
Cameron sort of, it's kind of obvious that this is just a passion project for Cameron. So would they, Cameron and Rodriguez, so like, and obviously Avatar's success helps fund it. So like, surely they could just make it R-rated just to be like, yeah, this is a passion project. We don't really care about the money that much. If Disney weren't cowards, they'd do that. But at the same time, I also don't have any issue with it being PG-13, because I think it was plenty violent enough. Because when it's cyborgs, you can just do whatever you want to them.
Yeah.
Cyborg bigotry is real. They're not considered human. You can like bash their skulls in.
Yeah, you kind of got that feeling
as long as the blood is blue.
Yeah. By the way, Avronaut, my handle is Creek with a C, not a G, but that's okay. I like the Greek people as well, but I'm an American Indian, so, you know, I'm not a Greek, you know. But yes, you're absolutely right. I discovered Alita. Well, I say I discovered Alita. I really knew who Alita was, you know, because I had seen her in a comic book store. They had a couple of volumes of the manga in this comic book store that I went to when I lived in North Carolina. And what would happen is my second wife would go to a sewing class or something like that, you know, and we'd drive over to the big town of Boone, North Carolina. And while she was in that, I would go down. It was a little strip mall that was there. And I would go down, there was this comic book store there, and I'd just go in there and just kind of look around, you know, and probably the owner probably got irritated with me because I didn't ever buy a comic book from him. But I did see the manga, and I knew who Alita was, you know, but not in a really deep sense. You know, I just knew it was a manga character, and that's all, you know. But but basically, you're right, Avronaut. I really discovered Alita in a very real way after seeing the movie. So absolutely. Angelus, I think your experience might have been similar to mine, right? Did you see the movie first, or did you read the manga first?
Movie first.
So you're like kind of like me in a way. You kind of saw the movie and that inspired you to read the manga, right?
Yep.
Cool.
And that happened for loads of people. It must have got loads of new fans for the manga.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, I would imagine.
That's what I'd be curious about. What sort of Oh, what was I going to say?
What sort of uptick as well as there after the movie came out? In manga
the
sales?
sales of it.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we can tell by like Google search trends or something. We need to get Charlie on the case.
Or ask Copilot.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
probably do. They can do
Yeah,
anything.
Professor
So
Google
freaking
or
handy with that
Copilot.
AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, Copilot's the best.
Yeah, it's pretty
Google were
good.
offering me 2 months free of their new one. I'm like, why would I want to even bother with that when they've got Copilot for free?
Yes. Well, and now, Vladi, I know you haven't read much of the original manga. You certainly haven't read the Mars Chronicles or the Last Order, unless you've been on this stream on Manga Night and you've been on Radio Chaos during Manga Day or whatever, Manga Night there as well, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But which one of those do you like the best?
Which one of what?
Which one of the three mangas do you like the best? The Mars Chronicles, the original manga, or the Last Order?
You're asking me?
Yes.
No, I haven't. I've been avoiding those streams and stuff. So I'm just trying to. I've obviously heard loads of spoilers, but I'm trying to just avoid them where I can.
I don't think it'll spoil it, but I appreciate the thought, though. But Angelus, what about you? I know you've read at least the original, haven't you, in the Last Order? Is that right?
Yeah.
And I think you got me to buy volume 8, I guess it was, of the Mars Chronicles, where we meet Kuhn. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean, well, I was going to buy the volume 8 anyway, and I still haven't read volume 9 yet. It's been sitting there in my Alita collection for about 3 months, and I haven't read it yet. So I got to get to that, I guess. But which one of those is your favorite manga there, Angelus?
Robbie Coltrane played McTeague.
Nah,
geez, I'd have to go Mars Chronicles.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because it's got Chibi Alita.
Yeah, that's right. Because Alita is a kind of a cute little girl there. I mean, she is for most of the Mars Chronicles, she's a little girl, you know, and in a lot of that, she's a toddler even, you know, so it's a little different. Yeah, Bad Man. That's weird that the co-pilot told you that Robbie Coltrane and not Jeff Fahey played.
Can you imagine if Robbie Coltrane
weird.
was McTeague?
Yeah, I mean that was Jeff Fahey. That wasn't Robbie Coltrane. Whoa.
He wasn't a dog lover, Harry.
Yes.
I hate that.
I hate that. Yeah. And
the only other quite good at it.
The only other noise you heard out of him was a couple of noises, you know, when I guess Zapan was kind of talking about him, and he just, you know, it's like he growled or something a little bit, you know. And of course, when Alita insulted him, you know, in the bar, he just kind of like that laughed. You know? That was kind of funny. Like, you know,
like a chat while all the losers are fighting.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you self-centered egomaniac. You got put in your place by that little girl there, and he just thought that was funny.
He knows no one will attack him because he's got those guard dogs.
Yes. Yeah, that would be a mistake, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, Robbie Coltrane had a cameo in Alita Battle Angel. I'll have to be on the lookout for that.
No, he's saying he asked the AI, if Robbie Coltrane cameo, and it said that he played McTeague, and the AI said he played McTeague.
Oh, okay.
I think if I'm understanding that,
I wonder if Copilot got confused and Robbie Coltrane really did have a cameo. I don't recall that though, and then it confused it and called it McTeague, maybe.
No, he definitely didn't know. I'm surely I'd know if he was. No, he's definitely not in it.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask it now.
Anyway, my favorite manga, God, it's got to be, I like all three of them really a lot, you know. I would say it had to be a tie between original and Last Order. I like Last Order so much because Alita is so freaking overpowered in that thing. I just love that. Of course, I love superhero movies, you know, so you know, I guess that's why I like Last Order a lot. But I like the original because the original to me kind of portrays Alita like it establishes her humanity to a degree, you know, I think. And Mars Chronicles, I really like that too, but I think I like the original Last Order equal, and I certainly like the Zot. You know, that's I really like that scene where she's drinking tea with Toji, and she's got this huge teacup that she's having to drink this tea out of, and it's like she's Chibi Alita trying to drink a regular tea, you know, out of a regular teacup, you know. So it's really funny, you know. So anybody, I guess.
Yeah, I asked Copilot, and it says, yes, Robbie Coltrane is indeed part of the cast in the movie Alita Battle Angel. He plays the character McTeague. Why is it lying?
It's probably getting its wires crossed because Robbie Coltrane was not McTeague. That's just not happening.
Yeah,
you know?
For the sources, it just links the IMDb page and another IMDb page with the full cast and crew, but it doesn't have Robbie Coltrane in there. So why would it make that mistake?
Maybe it's because Badman says that somebody on Twitter might have said that. It kind of picks up everything from the internet. So I guess even AI can be confused by the internet.
IMDb.
So what do you guys like about Alita's, you know, I guess her relationships? Who do you think? Hugo, Ito? Ito's her father, basically, a figure 4.
Yeah. I love how like sincere all her relationships are with her surrogate father and Hugo.
Yeah.
Obviously, the whole point is she's really human and she wears her heart on her sleeve.
Yes.
And that's what makes you love her so much.
Well, she falls head over heels for Hugo, doesn't she?
Yeah. He's just like a cute boy that she sees, and it's like the first one she sees.
Yeah.
Who's nice to her. And that's so sweet, the way she reacts to him.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
It's so beautiful when she does it. God.
Yeah, my feelings about Hugo have evolved, you know, since watching the movie so many times. But I would say that, you know, originally I thought Hugo was a little shit, you know, because of not because he was a jacker of cyborgs and all that, because that's a tough environment to live in if it was real. You know, I mean, having to just do anything you can to survive, you know, to eat, you know, basically. And but what really got me on him was making that deal with Vector, you know, to go to Zalem, even after he knew
that was really
those grind cutters that Gerwishka had were really Canubis grind cutters. And then, you know, to me, that's and he still made that deal. I mean, you little shit, you know, that's kind of what I thought, you know. But then, of course, toward the end of the movie, and he really did treat Alita pretty well, didn't he? I mean, he kind of started winning me back when she offered him her heart. And I thought, oh, that little shit, first time he's going to grab that heart, you know, and he's going to run off with it or something. You know, that was kind of what I thought subconsciously, but he said, no, put it back, you know. And I thought, well, maybe he's all right, you know, I guess, you know. But anyway, my feelings have evolved over him over the few times many times I've seen Alita, you know. But I really like figure 4 because, for one thing, Alita is an adult when she meets figure 4. I mean, she is a young woman, you know. I mean, she's like when she meets figure 4, she's probably in her mid to late 20s, I would say. Probably. And it's just no way to know. And figure 4 is like,
what do you?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead, does she even have, like, can you even say her age is like that? Isn't she? She's just a woman, right? She just doesn't really age properly. She's just a grown woman.
Well, in reality, of course, she's over 300 years old, but I mean, kind of physically or not physically, but, you know, mentally or whatever. But
like, I don't really get this thing when we say she's like, when she first starts the movie, she's 15. She's not. She's still the same woman she is at the end of the movie. She's just
in a different body. Yeah.
She's getting used to the world again.
Yeah.
She's not literally a 15-year-old in her brain. Her brain is a fully grown woman.
Yeah. Well, I guess it would be like that for anybody that woke up in a strange body, wouldn't they? And
Her brain is fully developed. The brain stops developing at 25, right?
For women, I think women become completely mature when they're like 18 to 20, and men is like 27 years old or something. We're slow.
Yeah.
We're slow at that, you know.
So at any rate, throughout the whole of the Alita saga, apart from obviously, I mean, in movie land, her brain is she's never like 15. She's always at least 18.
Yeah, because that's what she was. Well, she was 17 when she, I guess, was in the military, or in the manga. Of course, she was a more.
Does it say she was 17?
Yeah, she was, and she was like
it explicitly says that.
Well, she was basically in the special ops and in the Mauser School Commer group, you know, and which was more of a mercenary type group, you know, I guess. But in the course of the backstory in the movie, she's in the military. Well, look who just showed up.
Oh, yeah, I should have warned you guys.
Odd John, how's it going,
I should have warned
buddy?
you he was coming.
How's it going, Odd John?
John. We had a chat earlier,
Forgot to
John.
turn on my headphones.
Oh, your microphone is I thought you maybe had it muted or something.
His brain wasn't working as usual.
I forgot to turn it on.
What, your brain?
Yes.
How's it going, John?
Oh, peachy. Peaches and cream.
Living somebody else's dream, huh? So how are things there in you're in Arkansas, aren't you?
Yep. Down in Arkansas.
Yeah, that Arkansas.
Your voice sounds so much deeper than before. I don't know why.
It's just the headphones, probably.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a couple of years since we've heard from him. Maybe he's matured a couple of years.
Couple of years. I was on this stream like a couple months ago.
Yeah, I think it's been.
I guess you were. Yeah, I guess so.
Couple of years.
An old sense of time.
Yeah, that's
right.
Long way okay, yeah, I stand corrected.
Oh,
well, welcome aboard there, Odd John. It's good to see you, man.
You too.
Yeah.
I hear you are going to be down there in Texas land.
Well, Angelus and I are going to be down there in Austin, and you're welcome to join us if you want to. I think on June the 27th, I think is when we fly.
I'd be surprised if I can pull it off, but we'll see.
Yeah, you and Enigma Seeker both, you know, could join us.
Yeah, you've all got to go.
Yeah, we'd be.
I don't think he'll be able to.
Oh, really? How come?
I think he even, I don't know if he said it on Twitter or where he said it, but I thought he already mentioned that I think he's got some other trip that's going on around the same time. He actually wanted me to be able to come up and see him for the Mad Max Furiosa movie that's coming out, and I wanted to do that, but I've not even been back from Georgia very long, so I was like, well, I don't know if I can pull off all of these. So we'll see, but.
Yeah, I met Enigma Seeker when I was driving through St. Louis, you know, and he and I stopped and ate at the Cracker Barrel. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That's in my Alita video.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. You know, we chatted about a bunch of stuff, you know, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Well, since I got you on the stream, which version of Alita do you like the most, John? Do you like manga, movie, or anime Alita the best?
Definitely not the anime. I'm not really a huge fan of that one. I mean, I appreciate it. I respect it. I like the way that she looks in the face, but I cannot stand her voice in that little.
Yeah, that got me too.
I think it's kind of cute.
When she's not screaming, it is.
Yes.
I don't mind screaming. I was surprised when I watched the American one because there's a British, it's like an alternative voiceover. I was surprised with the American one, but it wasn't that bad. I was like, oh, she sounds all right.
It could have been worse, but I think as far as between manga versus movie, I do treat them a little differently for different reasons, of course, but I mean, I don't know if I could choose between them. Story
It's
wise,
hard to
probably the
compare
manga,
them. They're
but
so like they're kind of so separate entities almost.
it's funny because at the point in the story in which the movie takes place, they're not really that different, you know. So, I mean, she's kind of not kind of very naive in the beginning. So
Mhm.
In
I
both,
think
yeah.
she's pretty close, I think, to her manga counterpart. A lot of the time when the fans of the books get kind of riled up about how it's you know, she's nothing like her and it's so far off. It's like, well,
Yeah.
yeah, you're looking at that from the perspective of I know the rest of this story and I know she doesn't stay that way for
Yeah,
long.
yeah.
So
When
they're not taking in consideration how she is at the point in time the movie
exactly.
actually takes place.
And that also plays into what we talked about before, where like the reason it's quite colorful and bright and vibrant is because you see the world through her eyes in this initial stage, and
Right.
it's going to get darker as our story gets darker from the manga.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, plus humans grow over time. They change, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, you can look at Alita in
Alita
the
went through the
last
whole growth all the way through in just one movie, basically. She was like born, she went through puberty, and she literally became a woman.
Well, what I do think is that when they do the sequels, which I think eventually they will, you know, because there's a lot of fan support for it. But I do think that you know, I think Rosa will pull this off very well because in the original manga in the Last Order, when you just look at the caricature of Alita, you know, that Kishiro draws, Alita in the Last Order, particularly toward the end of the Last Order, she looks pretty different than she does, you know, in the original manga. You know, she's but it's still Alita, obviously, you know, but that's certainly a lot of that's because she changes bodies, you know, but you know, that Alita you see there on the right, on the top, that's her in her Imaginos 1.0 body. And that body, she kind of looks similar there than she does down at the bottom there. That's from the movie, of course. And that's one of Creaky's favorite picks right there. But as when she gets in the Imaginos 2.0 and Imaginos 2.1 body, she looks different to me. Her face looks different. She looks, it's hard to describe, you know, I mean, she's still got the ooh-woo going, but I mean, she just looks like, well, to me, it would be like anybody else. I mean, if you look at any of us, particularly me, from where we were when we were in our 20s and where we are now, we look different, you know, and I think that would be the same thing here. You know, I think they would, and to your point, John, people that think that Alita in the movie is so different from the books. Well, no, she's not. Not from the original manga. She's not. You know, especially the beginning of the original manga. It's you can see the similarity quite a bit. You know, but yeah, Alita in the movie.
I think they improved her character in the movie from the first couple books because they added all the emotional depth of the like more familial relationship between like Ido and all of that stuff.
Yeah, I think so, you know, and that's a natural human progression to change over time, you know. I mean, it's just a fact of life, you know, and I don't think that Alita would be any different, you know, I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think we'll ever see Granny Alita. We don't see that, but
well, yeah, it doesn't matter because it's a CGI. Like Rosa said, she could play her till she's 90 and she'll still look 25 or whatever.
Well, she could still do it too, I think, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, but anyway, back to the relationship thing, I guess. I like her relationship with Figure 4 the best over Hugo because as I guess as Badman pointed out, yeah, and I was going to say 28, but 29. Okay, that's right, you know. And I think Figure 4 is like 22 or something like that. Certainly not any older than 25, but I don't think he's that old. I think he's 21 or 22. And he's, you know, she's a little older than him mentally, but, you know, she's a woman, you know, and Figure 4 is a adult male. So it's a little different with Hugo. Now, Hugo in the movie is different than Hugo in the manga. Hugo in the manga, in my opinion, is a little shit, you know, and he's he's just barely, he's a teenager and all that kind of good stuff, Whereas I get the impression that Hugo in the movie is like 18 to 20 years old, something like that. So he's in the early stages of adulthood, I think. Thank you, Bad Man. That's right. I knew this was somewhere. Figure 4 did claim he was 21. Yeah, that's right. So
he's a lot younger than I thought. Dang.
So Alita was robbing the cradle, wasn't she? A little bit. But anyway, yeah, but they're both adults, it's different, and I just love the way I guess their relationship starts. It's very contentious, and that even early on, they actually fight in the desert. And that's one of my favorite scenes in the manga, where those two get in a fight, and Lita just literally kicks the shit out of him. It's really funny, in a way. And she says, God, what is wrong with this guy? Because he keeps getting up, So anyway, she finally, I don't know if she knocks him unconscious or something like that, but she doesn't really want to hurt him seriously. Because he challenged her. She didn't challenge him, and, and then I think she drives off and then comes back later to get him when that nuclear tornado was about to get him or something like that, and she says, get in the car, you dumbasses, or something to that effect. So yeah, no worse than a 207-year-old would go after a 15-year-old. Yeah, that's right. 207 years old. Hell, she's up there in my range, isn't she?
Not quite.
Yeah, she's not quite that.
I mean, you shouldn't talk about a woman's age like that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You never discuss a lady's age. That's right. So they teach you that in England too, huh?
Permanently 25.
Yes.
And she literally is permanently 25.
Yes. Well, I know toward the end of the Last Order manga, she's like in her mid-30s, I think, when she gets up there, I believe.
What happened to her? Did she change bodies or something?
Well, yeah, she changes bodies several times. I mean, well, first of all,
age her?
certainly in the tuned arc, she's in the tuned body. And when she gets in the Last Order, she starts out in the Imaginos, 1.0, and then she goes to Imaginos 2.0, and then she goes to Imaginos 2.1 during the Zot,
do those bodies vary the speed of aging?
I don't know about that. I didn't get that impression. I could be, So yeah, the manga and the movie is a little different in that Alita in the movie is 300 years old, and in the manga she's 200 years old. So it's a difference of 100 years. I guess Cameron liked the fact that she's 300 over 200. I guess it gives her more distinction, I guess you could say. What do we got here? Bad Man. Yeah, survival 101. Yeah, don't question a woman's age. That's right. Don't do that. Well, the fifth bullet, I really want to consult our uwu expert, Angelus. What do you think, Angelus?
Who to choose from?
I'm still very excited about the uwu from the sound of
I'll
that.
just take all of them.
Yeah,
actually, no, I lie. As much as I do love the manga overall, I have to say, Weta Digital.
Yeah.
Just chef's kiss. Mwah. I'm with Floody on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave her Rosa's cute smile, and they mixed it with Alita. It was just perfect. Definitely elevated it, in my opinion. It gave the character like a real humanity. Which, I mean, it's obviously you can't really have that in a book, but you know what I mean. Rosa gave it like a real strong spirit.
Mm-hmm. So Angelus prefers the movie uwu. What about you, John? Or are you into the uwu at all, John?
I mean, how can I not be?
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't realize this was going to be a manga versus movie.
No, it's not. We're going to go. I got a couple.
It's rather like what's everyone's personal tastes, because you know, like Creaky said, the only requirement is that you love Alita. We never specified which medium.
Yeah.
You know, if you love
Well,
Alita
I
in the
think if you
manga,
really hate
movie.
any of them, then you can probably just fuck off.
Well, like I said, that's the only requirement, that you love one of the Alitas.
Yes, you got to love Alita. That's right.
But I can't stand people who are like shitting on any of them, really.
Yeah.
If you're being negative about any of them, I think, like properly, then no, you're not really welcome.
Well,
Well,
I
I
mean,
yeah,
yes,
go
we
ahead.
could like apply that in a general sense, but also very specifically as well, because I
Yeah.
mean, you know, that sort of negativity is just not welcome anywhere, but especially here.
Well, because the Elite Army was formed to fight for the movie, really. So
Yeah.
if you're a massive movie hater, you're obviously not welcome in the Elite Army.
Well, you
Unless you're
can't
friendly
hate
about it and
you
you're
can't
not
hate
addicted.
Alita Battle Angel if you're in the Alita Army, because you wouldn't be in the army.
Well, you know,
That's true.
Creaky, you don't understand how people work. People enjoy coming into spaces like that just to like troll everyone.
Well, I get it, and I came in on when I joined the Alita Army. I actually came in at the very tail end of all that bullshit, that was going on.
Yeah, you were just
back.
sitting there waiting for the trolls to leave, which we all had to deal with.
Yeah.
And I've been traumatized for life by.
Yeah, even the short time that when I was
Literally
there,
paid Disney trolls. I'm going to sue Disney.
yeah.
So I'm sure most of them were like working for them.
Well, I got called all kind of things, even though I was brand new in the Elite Army. I got called all kinds of shit, and I went, "Whoa, what in the hell is this?"
It was crazy, man.
Yeah, it was. It was, yeah, but it kind of phased. It kind of phased out just a couple of months or 2 or 3 months after I got started going into the Radio Chaos streams and stuff like that. It kind of was dying down quite a bit, I guess.
Yeah, on both sides.
Yes.
The haters and the support.
Yes. Well, I know the Creek. I actually prefer movie Alita Zuwu too, because certainly there's so many places you can see Rosa, in Alita. It's uncanny in several places, where you see Rosa's, particularly on side shots, when it's side shot of her face, But even on a frontal shot like that,
frontal, very much so on a frontal shot as well, because she's got the dimples when she smiles. It just looks so much like her.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
She's just the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
She's got the uwu. That's for sure. What about you, John? What version of Alita's uwu do you prefer?
Well, the movie. Hold on a minute. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's weird. It wasn't showing the thing. I think the movie is actually probably leaning in that direction more, probably because the manga is just still images, so there's only so much of that you're gonna really see, I guess. But I'd probably lean toward the movie on that one.
Yeah.
Plus, she looks like an actual person, so there's that.
As opposed to a cartoon, right?
Yeah. She's still.
I mean, it's not to say that you can't get that too, even in other mediums. It's just, I just think the movie captures that better.
Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah.
That, and I really don't like the way she's drawn in Last Order at all. She's not very expressive in that version.
Yeah.
The octo lips are ever constant.
Such a choice, that.
Yes.
I'm glad that the octo lips would die down a bit.
It's like the background imagery and the environments got highly detailed and the characters went the other direction. It's weird. Whereas in the original, there's so much detail that it's almost too much in some parts, but
it will be a cool, surreal, like, nightmare sequence if she like wakes up one day and she's got these really like properly like octopus lips, and she looked in the mirror and was like, "Oh my god, what's wrong with my face?"
You mean like in You might maybe like octopus lips in the movie. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because it would just look so weird in live action if they gave her the proper.
I think it
octopus
would
lips.
too. You know, I kind of
Freaks
like
everyone out.
Alita's facial features and her lips and her eyes. I kind of like them the way they are.
In the
You know,
movie,
her-
they're perfect.
Yeah, her uncle approves. So yes,
Perfectly proportioned in every way,
yeah,
including her gorgeous, beautiful eyes.
yes, indeed.
Oh,
That's the thing that
talking-
struck me when I first saw the movie. The first time I saw her open those eyes, I went, "Oh my God, how pretty!" That's how
Literally, most
was
people's
something
reaction,
about
like that's why I can't stand it when people say, "Oh, the big eyes put me off." When I'm in a theater and I see people next to me, it always just seems like they're like, "Wow, she looks beautiful." Literally, there was this couple next to me on one of my viewings, and the girl said to him, "So pretty," literally like that, and I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
so true, so true."
yeah. Well, people that hate on her eyes, I think, you know, they're not used to either reading any manga, or if you've seen the movie Frozen, and believe you me, I've seen that movie a few times because my oldest grandson really liked that movie when he was a little kid, you know. So we watched that thing 3 or 4 times, you know, and both of those characters have big eyes like that. So, you know, and there are other cartoons where they have big eyes. Come on, man. I mean, it's
Sorry.
not that unusual, you know. So, all right. Well, anyway, I think we hit that
Her eyes
pretty
are great.
good, I guess. So, what is your favorite?
Are we going to
word?
compare? Okay, whose eyes do you prefer, movie or manga? Come on.
I think I prefer the movie eyes because they look more. They're more, to me. They're more expressive. They are, and it looks like now. You know, granted, this is CGI. Her eyes are, but you know, it looks like it's plausible that they could be in a kind of like a human. If you really want to go way out with it, for me, you know, Alita is a Martian. She's not an Earthling. You know, she's an extraterrestrial, basically. You know,
I was
and
reading when Ella Purnell was blowing up for being in Fallout with those massive eyes that she's got. I was reading someone posted like a tweet thread saying like, "Oh, this is why humans will naturally get bigger and bigger eyes as they evolve." I'm like, "Yes, Alita's just ahead of the curve."
yeah, bad
Yeah,
man
that
says
girl
I'll
has
never be
huge
yelling, my
eyes.
face, my face, my eyes, my eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
I remembered them saying that Alita's eyes were basically just roses scaled up, but maybe I'm wrong on that.
Yeah,
Yeah, they did say that, but then I also think that they changed the irises to someone else's irises. Someone with brighter irises. I remember them saying. I think when they changed the eyes, they also changed the actual color of the iris and everything to someone else's. At Weta, and it's just some random Weta artist eyes.
Oh man,
I know, right? But I
it'd
don't
be
know. I
kind of
think we
cool.
could
It's
still,
like that is
still
me
like
on screen.
it's still her eyes in terms of like the way they move and everything like that. So it's still
Yeah,
got her
right.
like micro expressions. It's just
yeah,
literally the color
yeah.
of the irises.
Well, Vladi Smendrick has said something here that I know will ring true to your heart.
Oh.
Her eyes are pure art.
They're works of art in themselves. Each one deserved an Oscar. Should have had 2 Oscars just from each eye.
Yeah.
I
There
thought
was
it was
like,
kind of
what's
funny.
the stat? Sorry, John.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say it's funny. Y'all started talking proportions, and I was in a whole other world when you said that. And then we're talking
Of course, yeah. Classic American putting in there.
Yes. Always.
What was I even saying? The eyes, yeah. So there's obviously I think, what was it? There was like 900 times more polygons in one of her irises compared to the whole of Gollum. Oh, and we're getting more Gollum before we get more Alita. Oh, we live in such a shit world, honestly.
Well, I would take that positively in that they put more effort in Alita's, not just her eyes, but even her face, you know, with the motion capture, the way they did all of this, than they did with Gollum. You know, Gollum is pretty good, you know, and Andy Serkis really pulled off a great acting gig with that one. But when you think about Alita, think about like her hair as an example. You know, when I first saw the movie, this is how realistic it came across to me. When I first saw the movie, I knew the eyes were CGI. They had to be, I knew that. But I really thought that Rosa Salazar, which I didn't have the first time I saw the movie, I didn't have a clue who Rosa Salazar was.
Same.
And I thought that was a child actor, that kind of looked like that they enhanced, through CGI. But that was basically what she looked like until I looked up Rosa Salazar and I said, oh, wow. She's a woman, she's not a kid. You know what I'm saying? And the hair is all CGI. And I mean, holy crap. It just blew me away, when I started doing a little post movie
it's crazy how real it all looks.
Yeah.
Everything about it looks so real. I don't know, it's absolutely mad. It like proves to me like how corrupt the media is, that no one even like mentioned that there was a snub. It never even got mentioned anywhere. I think Forbes mentioned one time that it was cruelly overlooked at the Oscars or something.
Yeah. Well, to be fair,
they're all just a bunch of crooks.
Well, to be fair with CGI and Lord of the Rings and in Alita, the CGI in the late 20th and the very early 21st centuries was not like it is today. I mean, it's much more advanced today.
Gollum was like crazy. Like, I remember when that came out, I was like 15 or 14 or something. And
that was a big deal.
I was really excited to see how realistic Gollum was. But it just feels like we need to move forward as a culture. We know we're moving backwards, and it's all Disney's fault. Like, we're going back to these grotesque creatures from these old IPs that we've already milked so dry. And Alita is like this angel, like, that represents the future of humanity. And because of Disney and their like corruption of destroying our culture, we're just not getting any more of her. It's ridiculous.
Can I say something in defense of Gollum real quick?
Go ahead.
I'm on my boy right now. No, I was gonna say, I know everyone is clowning on the whole focus on Gollum, and I'll be honest, as someone who loves Lord of the Rings, I would much prefer them do other stuff with that IP.
They're treating Gollum like Spider-Man.
I'm just saying, that whole bit where Aragorn goes on the hunt for Gollum and everything, like a lot of stuff that happens in between that time period is actually pretty interesting. It was making a pretty good series, I think. So before you clown on it, just saying,
It's so frustrating that I have to be so bitter about everything.
Well, I agree, John.
It just feels like we're going backwards as a society.
I love the Lord of the Rings. I thought it was great, and I thought Andy Serkis was super in that movie.
Do we need more of him though? I don't know.
I don't understand how the man hasn't gotten an Oscar. It makes no sense to me.
I don't get it either.
And there's another movie, by the way. There was another movie he did, and I don't know if anyone even watched this, but I know everyone really loves the Jungle Book, the Disney Jungle Book.
I saw that movie.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I liked it, but it didn't.
I did not like it.
I liked it, but the thing is, they're still trying to do the whole realistic face and everything, but keeping all of the
no character.
So
dark.
Andy Serkis directed a movie that came out on Netflix, I think couple years ago, called Mowgli, and it's the same. It's not quite the same. There are some differences, and the monkey is not in it. That's the number one thing I docked it for. But they kept kind of a mix between the realistic look, but they actually did, like, they put human expressions on the faces, and it worked. How the hell they did it, I don't know. But if you've not watched that, he directed that and he played in it. So I checked that out.
I did hear about that and didn't see it in the end.
I really liked it. You get to see.
I did too. I liked it. Yeah, I liked it.
I had a lot of fun with Mowgli, and hearing Kate Blanchett, Galadriel as the voice of the snake, I'm just like, yeah, I could totally see this.
Yeah.
So,
and Badman's correct here. Andy Serkis he had a really influential, early role in the motion capture itself. I mean, Andy Serkis is great. And
I've got no criticism of him or like more Lord of the Rings. It's just, as I was saying, it's just a shame that with our culture just looks back at all these IPs rather than what Alita represented, everything to do with the future in terms of the themes of like technology and everything, but also in terms of the fact that it was an IP that hadn't been done to death a million times. It didn't already have like a massive successful trilogy. and it's just lament our culture completely, and the evil that dominates it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Avernaut. Gollum is cool. There's no doubt about it. He's kind of a wormy little creature in the movie, but they
Freaking
did a
ugly
great
monster.
job on him for the technology they had at the time. It was super, for sure. Anyway, let's get off of that. What's your favorite version of Alita herself? Or in other words, which body do you like the best? I guess I'll start with you, Vladi.
Yeah. Well, for me, Berserker is the one I like the most, just because it's
Okay.
her body and it's her reaching her maximum potential. It's what she was striving for throughout half the movie, and she gets it, and it leads to her having these like amazingly cathartic scenes where she defeats Grishka, and it's just also impactful. But at the same time, obviously, I love the doll body. That's a stunning masterpiece itself.
Yeah.
But for me, I prefer the Berserker body because of the personal attachment it has for Alita, whereas the doll body is more Ido's body in a way.
Yeah, that's right. Or Ito's daughter's body.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I was rewatching the movie the other day and seeing Jennifer Connelly is really underrated in this movie, I feel. When she sees Alita walking in the street and she spots the body of her dead daughter that she and Ito worked on for so long, her reaction is really it's really authentic. Like she looks at it and she doesn't even see the person who's using it. Really, she just sees that's my daughter's body. It shows her character, and she lifts it up. She doesn't even consider Alita, and it really freaks her out. And but yeah, to answer your question, Berserker for me is my favorite.
Okay. Angelus, what about you? What's your favorite version of Alita's? Which body that is? I think you're muted, Angelus. Muted or asleep.
Yeah. What,
Get a spoonful.
All right, John.
Get a spoonful of Vegemite. That'll wake him up.
Yeah, you hold it under his nose like smelling salt. That's what you do to an Australian.
Just stick it under
Get the Vegemite.
Get a whiff.
Either that or he's having trouble with his mic like he's had the past couple of weeks for sure, What about you, John? What's your favorite body?
Well, in the manga, I really like the Toon body just because of all the gadgets she has, but probably the Imaginos
one and
overall.
Imaginos 2.
Yeah.
There he is.
Oh, there you are, Angelus.
I was having an OJ moment with my mic.
Well, what's your favorite body there, Angelus?
Imaginos 1 first.
Okay.
And then it goes into 2.1 with the wings.
Yeah. Well, I know the Creek in the movie. I like the Berserker body because that's her as a woman, and that's kind of what I like. I agree with Vladi that the doll body is a work of art. All the little curly cues and the flowers and stuff like that.
Stunning. Again, should have got an Oscar nomination just
and
for
the
that
little
alone.
gold inlays and stuff like that. It is stunning.
Literally a masterpiece.
Yeah, but she's basically a 14-year-old in that body.
She's not a 14-year-old.
The body's 14, but when she first wakes up,
year-old
she's almost like a 14-year-old when she first wakes up in the body because she's not aware. She has no memory for one thing, and she gradually, I think, to your point, I think even in her doll body, she gradually matures because, going in and acting the way she did in the Kansas bar, a 14-year-old probably wouldn't do that with a bunch of bounty hunters in there like that, But I do like the Berserker body in the movie the best because, it's her as a woman,
Right.
and she's just really just super attractive in that body. And Hugo, you remember when she goes running across the top of the buildings and then lands on the street in front of Hugo and Biff. I guess they were looking at that skate that Biff had or whatever. But
yeah,
Hugo looks at her.
That's pretty fresh, huh?
Wow.
I always remember that one.
That was something, But as
I
far
like
as
what I see.
yeah. Well, I like all of Alita's bodies. There's no doubt about that. But my favorite in the manga has got to be the Imaginos 2.1 because for me it's like, well, I like the Imaginos 1.0. I do like that body, because it's cute and all that stuff, and it is Alita, but the 2.1 body, she is seriously OP in that body. I mean, she's I mean, she's on the level of Thanos and Darkseid and Hela and some of these people, and that in terms of her abilities, So but I think that's my take on it. So, but I think also another thing for me that I really like, and you guys can chime in, I like the fact that Alita is not a superhero. I mean, she has superhero level ability, there's for sure, but she is not a superhero. She's a person on a journey trying to discover who she is, and she just happens to have these bodies. Now, you don't want to mess with her, in terms of pissing her off or anything, because that body is extremely, all those bodies, even her doll body is the way she uses it because she knows Panzer Kunz is going to be way too much
power
for
of the mind.
Yeah. So anyway, what's your thoughts, Vladdy, on Alita not being a superhero?
Yeah, very much approve of that. Superheroes are lame. Like they just like, oh, I fight for justice and stuff. No, come on.
Yeah.
That's just that's like idealism, and it just doesn't. It's just not realistic. I prefer something more grounded, like Alita, where she's just trying to go about.
She's not that
trying to make a way in this
superhero.
evil world, and she's obviously she stands up to evil, but she's not like, she doesn't put on like a suit and go out for like fight for justice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She's not that archetype, is she?
No.
Yeah, she's just not that.
She's individual. She's not.
She's a human
here to save the collective.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think, Angelus? Angelus with the mic problems.
Well, she kind of is a superhero now.
Here he goes.
MCU.
You caught the Oddjohn disease.
Well, I wonder what else I'd catch if you came to come visit.
Oh God!
You don't want to know about it.
Make sure you got all your vaccinations.
You got the John
vaccination against the Oddjohnitis.
Exactly. Oh God, John! If you meet him, you better get your vaccinations. Constantly coughing, this guy.
Yeah, I think bad
breakfast at the same time.
So what's your thought about Alita not being a superhero, Angelus?
Because she goes, Rosa says it best, she's someone that transcends all of that.
Yeah.
She's like someone that we aspire to become, someone that we look up to.
Yeah, like I really want to see the world through how she sees it when she first opens her eyes. Like that optimism, it makes me feel sad that I don't see the world like that anymore. Losing that sense of childlike wonder, and Alita brought it back.
And that for such a fictional character, that it's a given that all fictional characters are based in some sort of truth or created from some sort of truth. Born from or born of, but for us,
it's turned into therapy.
For a single character, fictional character, to influence us so profoundly, it's rare.
Well, it's also because not everything, but a lot of things these days are made with these types of things in mind. Everything is a product.
Yes.
Well, I mean, everything is a product, but
yes.
That's why movies are made. They are made to make money, but there are some that have more care put into them than others.
Yeah,
and this was one of them.
Exactly.
Whether or not you agree with dialogue or if something sounds corny or cheesy, whatever. At the end of the day, it's still they still put
it's still from the heart.
Why it works. Exactly.
It all came from the heart. It's what cinema needed really at the end of the 2010s, which was all just like Disney live action remakes and MCU movies. Alita came along.
Right.
It was just the kind of breath of fresh air that cinema needed. But sadly, it was sabotaged by the evil forces that dominate our culture.
Isn't that usually how it goes?
Always, man. Always the way. We can't have nice things because we are just not run by nice people.
And also, I think honestly, I think the merger is most of it. If it wasn't for that, and then Marvel, if it wasn't for the controversy of Marvel, I think we'd already have had we'd be on our way to a third one by now, I think. Even with the COVID stuff and everything involved with that. I
Well,
really
Bad-
think we've already had it.
Yeah, Badman has a point here that he says if Alita isn't a superhero, neither is Iron Man and War Machine, or in the DC
Yeah.
universe, Cyborg.
Right.
But here's the thing: it's not that I'm saying that Alita is not doesn't have those level of abilities, which she does. And in my mind, she is what the DC universe. That's my opinion. What the DC universe says is a metahuman. You know, because now we've had that discussion in the past whether she's a metahuman, an enhanced human, or something else. You know, I mean, but when I say she's not a superhero, I mean she's not that archetype. She's not like Captain America. You know, she's not like Superman. You know, in Truth, Justice, and the American Way.
Yeah.
You know, she's not like that. You know, she's
And now the Iron Man, really, he's sort of in it for himself, right? But he kind of becomes a superhero because of what he does, right? He does team up with all the other superheroes, and he becomes one of the. So I think that there's definitely, you can definitely differentiate, even though they both have like machine bodies that are really powerful. I feel like that is how you can separate Alita from superheroes.
Well, I think with Alita, you know, it's particularly in the manga and her berserker body, you know, she can run at like Mach 6.5. She has the berserker weapon, you know, the plasma weapon is inherent in her body. She can generate plasma and fry your ass with it. You know, she can do that.
I think it's a thing that goes beyond just raw abilities, because her archetype is that of what you'd see out of a traditional hero character.
Yeah.
To the point where it's almost goofy how naive she is about it, but I don't think that's the way it's going to stay, or at least I hope it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think it will either.
I think they would greatly miss the point of her character if they did that, but I'd like to think that they wouldn't do that, just based off Cameron's notes alone.
Yeah. Well, I know Vladi in Captain America 4 wants Rosa's character Diamondhead to kill all the MCU superheroes.
Diamondback, kill them all, end the whole franchise, and say, "Come, the Alita sequel will be out. Come check that out in 2026." That's how the movie should end. But obviously, I know, because Disney's like completely evil. She's gonna just probably be like an off and on love interest forever and just be trapped in the MCU.
Yeah.
They've stolen our. They're literally like sadistic.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Abernaut in one way, that Alita doesn't want to be like Superwoman or say Wonder Woman, rather, or she wants justice. But I think with Alita, it's more like, instead of, you know, fighting the bad guys and all, which she does plenty of that, and also when she's in the Zot, as an example, she is literally fighting for the existence of the humans on Earth. So in that way, she kind of is a superhero there, you know. But it's not.
It takes a long time to get to that, though.
Yeah, well, and not only that, it's not like it's her. It's not like her overriding thing, you know. She's more. She's competing in the Zot, you know. Certainly that's part of it, but she just loves that competition and stuff like that. You know, she loves to fight, you know, she loves that a lot, you know. So she's just, to my point, she's just not that archetype. She just isn't, you know. She's more like a human on a journey trying to figure out who they are. That's what she is, you know.
It's like what we're all trying to do. We're trying to make our way through this minefield called life. And obviously we hit loads of like, Alita gets knocked down so many times, but she always bounces back. That's why she's so inspiring.
Yeah. Well, one thing I really do, a couple of things I really love about Alita is her objective-oriented kind of drive she has. You know, that speaks to that fourth bullet there, that perseverance and determination. I mean, God almighty, I remember seeing her ramming her hand into Gorishka's eyes and saying, "Fuck your mercy," when she's about to be killed. You know, in her mind, she thought she was done for, you know, until, you know, Ito, Hugo, and McTeague rescued her, basically.
She had to have that last word.
Yeah. I'm going to leave. Okay, you may kill me, but I'm going to leave you a present. if
Pretty
you do.
much.
Yeah. And I just love that about her. God almighty. I mean, it was so
I
cool.
always, unless it's a video that doesn't really fit, I always try to implement that scene in there somehow as like the crescendo, like the
Yeah.
final part before the end of my little videos that I do.
Yeah. So
Every
I
time.
really love that perseverance and determination in the character of Alita. You know, I mean, it's just like nothing's going to stop me.
Yeah.
And
Down to my last limb. That's how I want to go out. I'm going to defeat the evil in this world.
You too,
yes.
Floods. Can't wait for Apes 9.
What?
I said you too, hey. Alita Warrior 99. Can't wait for Apes 9.
Oh, right. My
Hours
tweet.
ago.
Sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I can't
Oh
wait
yeah, I
for
was
the
taking a
therapy
piss. And
session.
it's going to be apes in space. I'm like, great. They're just going to keep milking the apes franchise forever, and it's increasingly
I get
ridiculous
it.
things to try and get people to show up. So the new
So
movie is
funny.
doing okay, but it's not doing that well. It's probably not. It's probably going to make less than what an Elite sequel would have weighed. Absolute bastards.
Yeah. It's funny because part of me, like, I really liked that trilogy, and I
Yeah, it's good.
probably kind of wanted to watch it, but I just don't care. I don't
exactly.
care.
I don't care about ape cultures and how they develop over the course of centuries. Like, I don't give a fuck.
I thought it was cool because the whole thing with Rise and Caesar, like, slowly, eventually
that was
being
a
able to
cool
speak at the end.
Shakespearean kind of story, you know. But
Right. That was
you don't
great,
need
but
to
now
keep
it's
dragging
like,
it out.
yeah.
Now it's just talking apes.
unnecessary.
All I think of it is now as the annoying Talking Apes franchise that stole Alita's release slot in 2024. I'm like, piss off.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that.
Well, Bad Man has a question. He says, "Would Alita be in the Canadian Justice League, or even the Justice League or the Avengers, for that matter?" We've had streams on this in the past. I don't think she would be like a permanent member, you know, of either one of those. But what she would do, depending on the circumstances, might, you know, for a particular, if for one instance, she might team up with them to you know, kind of counteract a serious threat, you know, like say Darkseid or Thanos. She might do something like that, but I don't think she would be a member of it in a permanent sense. Now, granted, you know, she did form a team to fight Joshigan. She did that. She did form a team that compete in the Zot, you know, but that's not the same thing. Those are like, that's like American football teams or baseball teams or cricket teams or any of those, you know. That's a little different than being in something like the Justice League, you know, because first of all, I'm not sure, particularly the Avengers, I'm not sure Captain America would like her all that much, you know, because in the manga particularly, she's a very dark character, you know, in the manga, you know. But what do you guys think? Do you think Alita could be in something like, well, he says the Canadian Justice League, but do you think she could be in something like the Avengers or say, you know, the Justice League or something like that?
She's too good.
Yeah, I refuse to even go there.
Okay.
No, like as in like she's like even as a singular person, I feel that she's too good for to be lumped in with that crowd, so to speak.
Yeah, particularly permanently, right, Angelus? I mean, I could see her helping, say the Avengers to fight Thanos. Matter of fact, I did a video on it. You guys can check it out. I'll look for the link, put it in the chat. I can't play it on the stream because we get yeeted, you know, but you know, I think she would help them, you know, because she's that kind of a person. Yeah. She would, I think she would, you know, a threat like Thanos is an example to Earth. She's not going to stand for that, you know, but so I think she would, you know, assist them, you know, but then she would go on her way again, and then they'd go on their way. That's the way I see it. So, well, we kind of hit physical traits pretty hard already, including the uwu, unless Angelus wants to say one last word about the uwu.
Just that and which segues like perfectly into the mental/spiritual side, in that as I'm going through my second playthrough now, it's amazing how closely you can draw parallels between Alita's journey and why am I having
Like the meta of the fight for her sequel that the fans have had. Similar sort of struggle, exactly. It all
Eve,
connects.
yeah, from Stellar Blade, and
Oh,
how
wow.
those two characters' journey you can draw very close parallels to.
Damn, I
Because
got to buy a PS5 and play
with-
that game. I got to do it.
without spoiling it, she does go through like I don't know if I call it a self-discovery, but discovery of the truth. Even that's like a bit of a mini spoiler, so I won't say anything beyond
Yeah.
that. But yeah, she does go through a sort of discovery,
Yeah.
much like
Yeah.
Alita's self-discovery, if you will.
Mhm.
Yeah, that one's pushing it, bud.
Well, Stellar Blade was based got a lot of I guess influence from Alita Battle Angel, a lot of inspiration.
yeah.
Didn't it?
A lot.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's funny when people keep talking about Nier Automata, and it's like, y'all, Nier did not invent some of this stuff. This stuff is way older than that.
Yeah.
It's like, it's Nier's story. I'm like, it's also something else.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I don't think Eve was named after a cat, bad man. I don't think that. Well, or was
Or
she?
when one of the other what we call NPCs or non-play characters,
Yeah.
like that's a generic
Yeah.
pop culture term, but
Yep.
when one of the NPCs is called Adam, well, yeah, you can guess where they get the whole naming ceremony from.
Okay.
Adam, Eve.
Yes. Oh gosh, Vladi, looks like Bad Man's throwing down the gauntlet. Didn't they
Mother
say they were
Sphere.
making 27 more Planet of the Apes movies?
Mother Nature.
Yeah, well, they said they're going to do up to 9, I think. But obviously, with Disney, that just means it will go on forever if they keep making
God.
money.
Is Disney doing the Planet of the Apes movies?
Yes, man. That's why I'm pissed off at it.
Oh god damn.
That's why I'm irrationally pissed off at the Planet of the Apes franchise.
Hey, lads. Together, apes strong.
I keep saying they're putting up posters with that as like some like epic tagline. I'm like, yeah, it's quite cool, but I mean, they're just like freaking dumb apes learning how to speak finally. Okay, I'm over that now. It's really not that amazing. Now they're like supposed to be developed. How does it even work for these new movies? Remember, if we all come together and fight, we will be stronger. It's like, yeah, it's so basic.
Alita
I can
was
just
too
imagine.
feminine.
I can just imagine the leader going to giving a bit of a tease or a troll, if you will,
Yeah.
going oh, so together ape strong. How about fuck your mercy?
Not as
Yes.
marketable, even though it's obviously a million times more epic, but it's like an
hell yeah.
F-bomb.
That's what I'm saying.
Alita's
Like
got so many more epic lines anyway that are PG rated. Like, I do not
Why-
stand by in the presence of evil.
like
By the way, Bad Man says, according to some people, Alita was too feminine. I mean, and they should have looked at C-3PO and R2-D2. Now, I disagree about R2-D2, but yeah, C-3PO, he was extremely feminine, so I don't get it. Or he, I guess. Robots are its, I guess. But
I think what he's saying is they suggested she should have looked like C-3PO.
Yeah, the feminist Creaky. We're talking about the annoying feminist who said that she should have had a body that looked like C-3PO or some like. It's
not practical. Oh my god!
But no, it is
why
not.
would she have boobs when she's just a robot? Like, my god,
so dumb.
Yeah,
so sexist. Like, this was written by guys.
Well, I've had to
there was one
explain.
female writer, but James Cameron, my god, he should not be allowed to write female characters.
Well, I've
Heaven
had to
forbid
explain,
tits exist.
Yeah.
Well, I had to explain to people
Boobs,
why
ew.
Alita had boobs. You know, like for instance, she had boobs in the doll body because the doll body was made for another little girl, and she had budding boobs there. And in the Berserker body, it conforms itself to her self-image. So, and she is a female, so yeah, she's going to have boobs. So, I find that whole discussion just really irritating, for me, to have to explain that shit.
Oh, Creaky, if you only knew what kind of demons we're dealing with here.
Seriously.
It's funny because like they know the counter argument they will make, and they have no counter argument to it, because they say like when you made the joke about like saying James Cameron can't make female characters, and I'm thinking to myself,
That's what they think.
you know what?
That motivated loads of the hit pieces.
I've only got 4 words for you. Sarah Connor.
He's written the best female characters ever. It's absolutely
exactly.
ridiculous. That's one reason why they hate him, because they're so pissed off that a man wrote these really like popular female characters.
You know,
and he doesn't make them look fucking quite ugly to make them to pacify like annoying feminists.
Even as much as Dark Fate was an absolute just dumpster fire, I gotta admit, that Grace chick that they picked, I'm pretty sure that her whole thing was Cameron's idea, because I actually liked her, Grace.
Grace
Probably
is
the minority
bad.
group.
It's the way
She
that
was
they
very,
wrote it's the way that
what's
they
the
wrote
word
John
when it's
Connor.
between genders?
Yeah. I can't remember who plays her, but that woman is huge.
Androgynous.
Like,
Androgynous, that's the word. Yeah, she was very. Do you think Cameron picked her to be androgynous on purpose?
I mean, I always kind of thought that woman was a little bit on the big side, but that's not the only thing going on there.
But they gave her that really short boy haircut and everything.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I thought the whole point of that was that she was a soldier.
As well. Because well,
to be fair,
she's got helmet hair.
Yeah. Why did they do that? Such an ugly haircut.
Well, let me ask you guys this one.
They were military trained, somewhat.
Yeah, they were soldiers.
Give her a buzz cut then. That's all right. At least it has a bit.
Well, let me ask you guys this question. This is a simple question. Is Alita a waifu, a warrior, or both?
Both.
Yeah.
Both, definitely. I mean, waifu, we'd say that, and it's a bit, obviously, it's a bit, it's a meme, but she has that loving, caring, motherly aspect to her that would make her a really good partner. And she'd fight. If anyone like threatened her baby, she would destroy them in a millisecond.
Yes.
So she'd be the perfect wife and the perfect warrior.
And if you don't feed her, she'll probably beat you up too.
If you don't give her chocolates, particularly.
Yeah, she needs her.
That reminds me. Do either of you guys, obviously by you guys I mean Creaky and OJ, but in Austin, Texas, are there any good like over here we've got what's that chocolate place? Sam Churros.
Well, we have Rocky Mountain chocolate.
Do you have Max Brenner over there?
I don't know about that, but I know we have a place called the Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory. We have that.
God, that sounds good.
Yeah, and it's I don't know if it's back east or not, John, but I know it's in. I've seen it here, certainly here in Denver. I've seen it particularly in the mall and in the airport. But I think I've seen it in other airports this side of the Mississippi River. So yeah, I don't know about back east, and I certainly don't know if Vladi, if you've got a Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factories there in.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I mean we have Cadbury's, but it's like doesn't have the same. It's owned by Americans now, so it's like fuck that as well.
Oh no, it's owned by Americans. Oh my God.
Yeah, no,
I was going to say
damn, he went for the throat right there.
Well, no, it's just annoying. Like all our like iconic British companies are now like owned by international corporations, and it's just like we live in such a depressing dystopia. And no Alita secrets. That's the worst.
Yeah.
Everything was just so demoralized in every single department. Literally, the election's coming up, and we have like no choice whatsoever. We have the shittest movies coming out. Everything sucks.
The shittest movies, the shittest politicians to vote for.
Literally everything.
Shittest
like,
weather.
How is this world like this?
You ain't wrong on the weather. Oh my God, it's been weird.
Well, fellas, let's stay away from politics now. I kind of don't like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I didn't take sides.
I
Did
think
take
everybody
sides?
on this stream knows my political.
I just said it was all shit.
proclivities, but
Everyone agrees that we don't. All the sides are shit.
yeah,
Nobody likes
No.
Biden. Nobody likes Trump. In my country, nobody likes Rishi Sunak. Nobody likes the Labour guy they've got. Everyone hates everyone, and it's still just a sham.
This is the year of the.
It's the year when like nobody votes. It's going to be mass.
All right, guys.
Everyone's completely
guess
turning
what?
on.
We're going to move on.
This is why we need Alita Creepy. She's going to save the world from.
Yes.
As soon as she comes back, everyone will be inspired to not stand by in the presence of evil.
Yes. Now we don't need to talk about because we already talked about the bodies, so we can and we all agree that we like all of Alita's bodies, but we all know which one is the favorite amongst all of us. But what about Alita?
Yeah, we didn't mention the motorball body for Max. He would have said that was the best one.
Yeah, I think Maxie definitely would have said that's the best. He's called it the Ferrari of cyborg bodies, I think is what he's called it, you know.
Pretty fitting considering it basically is a NASCAR vehicle for what she's doing.
Yeah. No, it's a great metaphor. Because also, like, cars in a way, like, you could describe a car as, like, beautiful in a way, just from all its curves and everything. You know what I'm saying? So,
yes.
I can see the analogy for people. I'm not really into cars myself, but...
Yeah. And Avronaut
into
says
a
Alita
transformer over here.
You can have
Alita
a
as a
car,
movie
like,
is without politics. Yeah, I agree, Avronaut.
I mean, it's not really a movie without politics. But...
Well, it is. Well, one of the things about it is that Alita is now faced with going after Nova, and he's kind of like in the movie. Now, not in the manga, he's not the same, you know, but he's kind of I guess he's like a ruler from on high, you know, beyond the reach of everybody, because he's up in Zalem, and Alita is going to go get him. So, you know, that's so. But I think he's talking about what some folks would consider woke.
He's talking about injecting.
Well, possibly,
actual political.
Yeah.
Right.
Because remember, it was written back in the 90s, basically. Didn't Cameron write it in like? So it was before all that kind of. So that's another reason why it's like a miracle.
Well, I think Guillermo
like a time capsule. And that's
Del
probably why I enjoyed
Toro.
it so much.
Well, I think Del Toro gave it to him in like '98, didn't he, or something like that? Or
he introduced him to the anime, and then Calogridis is actually the one that got him into the manga.
The manga, that's right.
Thank her for that.
Yeah, that's right. So,
which is why it's kind of funny to me. That's why it's kind of funny to me that apparently the two of them kind of got into it over the motorball thing, because apparently he was really, really focused on the motorball, and they got into it over that because she wanted to shift over to other things. I think that's why Chaos probably wasn't found out in the Badlands, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But I could be wrong on that part. But that's just going off memory of what she said.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I need to rewatch that stream. It's been so long.
Yeah, that was a great.
It's a really good stream. There's so much in that. I still can't believe that we never got an article written from that. I really can't believe that.
What the fuck? The media was so ungenerous to us. We had like Cinema Blend, but that was basically it.
Yeah, you know, what was funny about that stream for me was, I know pre-stream, you know, we were talking to her, you know, to kind of get the feel of what was going to go on in the stream and everything. And she says, "All right, am I the oldest person on this stream?"
No.
And I said, "Lady, you ain't even close."
John, you're so right though. There were so many like tidbits that they could have spun that out to loads of articles about the movie.
Oh, dude. There's stuff in there that they could still be writing about that interview today.
If James Cameron had said a lot of this stuff, they probably would have milked it for loads of articles. It's just the media probably being sexist again, isn't it? They're a bunch of hypocritical bastards, honestly.
Yeah.
Literally, if James Cameron had said all that information, they would have been all over it, because it was the
you guys know that you guys know that show or that movie Between Two Ferns with Galifianakis or whatever.
The one
we
where
need to get Vladdy on his own little podcast where he just
where he ran
next to the ferns. Yes,
he could do like
wind him up.
Yeah, he could do John. He could do like Lewis Black does, you know, the rants.
Yes,
Oh yeah, God, those bring me back. Oh, the good old days on the Daily Show when he'd do his rants, Lewis Black. Oh my God. Oh, what
Yeah,
a simpler
those are
time it was
epic.
back then.
Yeah.
Just give Vladdy the open mic and just let him talk.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Or
I
even
would
better,
Hours.
I would pay to listen to that.
Right?
He-
Pay-per-view.
I
He'd
should
probably get
literally just
arrested.
start trying to rant and then just turn them into YouTube videos. And then
Dude,
just
you'd
rant.
probably get arrested or something. They'd have to
Yeah,
play off
eventually I'd talk myself into like bed posting on a YouTube video. I get so worked up.
You bastards won't give me my sequels.
Oh,
That
I
sounds
love
even
nothing
better.
like me. What the fuck?
Lottie, I
Get a-
love this one. Dusty Iger.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if they don't bring out the sequels, Bob Iger's going to represent Nova forever because he's the one that like held her back from where she should have gone to Zala.
You know, now in all fairness too, I kind of agree with what John kind of alluded to a while ago, is that one of the reasons why we haven't gotten a Alita sequel already is because of the merger or Disney buying out Fox. Because I think if Fox, 20th Century Fox, was still in business, we would have had an Alita 2 and
Definitely.
probably be
well
working on an Alita
It's such a
3
tragedy.
right now.
So Disney have some responsibility to make up for that.
You think they're going to make up for it?
They should do. They should have a moral
I
responsibility.
hate to sound like bitter on this subject because I don't talk about it nearly as much as I used to because I just find it depressing. But my whole thing about the 20th Century Fox merger that really drives me crazy is, like what Vladdy said, all these other franchises getting the green light. Now, some of these are already coming down the line.
Yeah.
And as I do think the new Aliens actually looks good. Probably in the minority on that.
It just looks exactly
not what I was
the same as the other
expecting.
one. They tried to copy it.
Dude, it's like, okay, like where's Alita at? We got the apes, we got Alien. I think there's even Simpsons coming down the line.
Yeah, Cameron's got to fess up. What is going on?
Like from my understanding, I don't remember the last Alien movie particularly doing well. I may be wrong on that, but it's like, okay.
No. And this Apes movie is going to make less than a
pretty
sequel
shit.
would have made.
I
So
think-
it's just ridiculous.
I think
There's just no
Aliens
logical
did pretty
reason.
well, didn't it, on John? Alien 2 or Aliens, didn't it? I thought that did.
Well, I
pretty
mean
well.
Covenant. Like the last one they
Oh,
had
yeah,
came out was Covenant. And I don't think that did well.
I don't
All
think
these
I remember
franchises
that
were
either.
bombing by the time they stopped making movies. Now Disney are bringing them back and just leaving Alita as if she just did shit. But it was like
She's
their
right
fault
there.
she didn't do well enough. But it's just so frustrating. How can they expect Alita fans just to sit back and let Disney do this?
They probably don't.
They took
give
it personal when you. They took it personally when you flew the banner. They're like, hell no.
Literally, they'd probably just get sick of us.
Well,
Bear in mind
They
we got
wanted to
shadow
bury
banned
Alita
off
from
Twitter
day
for
one.
a year.
Well, you know what my response to that is, Vladdy? We're going to be a thorn in their side, damn it, and we're going to stay
I hope
at
we're
it.
long going. Well, there, all these people are long gone. I hope we're still going.
Yeah, they'll all be long gone, and we'll still be here. That's right.
Well, the way things are going at Disney, surely they can't go on forever. This is just so shit. This Apes movie's not even doing very well, really.
Yeah, this is a
before
bit of
this,
actually.
Huh?
a bit of
Before the Zoom call, I know Charlie Smith and I were talking about how Disney stock is starting to go back down again.
Of course.
It was up to 119. It come up from 83 up to 119. Now it's going back down. It's around 105.
All right, so I got some info for you guys.
Ah,
Alien Covenant did underperform when it came
Yeah.
out. It grossed 240.9 million worldwide against a budget of 96.
ridiculous.
Wait a minute.
God damn.
Wait, hold on.
great mind think
No.
alike because I just looked that up.
What
as
about
well.
Aliens, John?
Either-
Did you?
Aliens was Cameron's movie. Didn't that do really well? We don't need to look
Yeah.
that up.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about the latest Alien.
Yeah,
movie,
because
Yeah.
you're trying to compare like why they've chosen to carry all these franchises that were basically dead in the water, whereas Alita just started and she'd actually did pretty well.
I
It
think
just
Apes
boggles the
actually
mind.
makes sense because Apes is one of those things where I think all of them did fairly well.
Yeah, that makes more
Right.
sense. But at the same time, it's way less worthy than Alita was for a sequel.
Mhm.
And now it's proving to be the case because like Apes isn't taking off. The only franchise they've got from Fox that actually is like does gangbusters is Cameron's Avatar, and they freaking stabbed him in the back with Alita. Oh, it makes me sick to my stomach.
By the
I
way,
just
I I did look up
Okay.
Aliens. They made $185 million on an $18 million budget.
Yeah, it was all different back then.
Yeah. So they
Those
made
are pretty
well,
crazy numbers even now.
that's real crazy
Crazy
numbers.
how
That's
low the
10
budgets were, like
times.
inflation.
It's just another thing that James Cameron makes movies that make money. I mean,
Obviously, there's
come
got to be
on.
some weird political thing going on with the Disney executives. That's why I'm so like
Of course.
pissed off at them. They're just obviously not factoring in the financial, because if it's James Cameron who makes these movies that make so much money and he's a legend in the industry, why would you disrespect him like that when you know that your merger is what screwed up the release?
If you're talking about it from the activist standpoint, Avatar does click plenty of the boxes, and Cameron already is about that. And I think he does it in a way that's like, that's just, he does it the way he does.
Well,
Alita already kind of does, but it's not even a background thing. It's not even, hell, it's so minuscule. You can't even really identify it.
Well, he's working on Avatar 4 and 5 right now. They're filming, and Avatar 3 is in post. So he's still heavily engaged in Avatar. So maybe that's a possible explanation, So
I figured that if we see anything done, it would probably be between those movies. Or maybe even between now and then, because that's kind of how they did the last one. They worked on Alita, I think. Wasn't it during the post of wait, no, that doesn't make sense, because post of Avatar 2 was way further back.
Yeah.
It was during the time they were between movies, I think.
Well, it was in early 2022, I think.
Yeah.
When will Disney claim the apes colonized Mars and invented cybernetics and Panzer raccoons?
Cyberpunk 8 movies where they're all walking around.
Closest thing we got to Alita right now is Stellar Blade, and it seems that's going to be the way it is for a while.
Freaking sucks, man. Our freaking world is so bad.
Well, let's get back to our girl here. Now, we don't need to talk about the bodies. We already talked about them. But what about her as the kind of character is? Do you like her as a hunter warrior or a motorball player or a tuned agent or a Zot player? Or an say a military member?
Probably tuned for me. Motorball's cool.
Yes.
Hunter warrior, not really, because she barely even did it.
Yeah.
But in fact, I think she only did it once, if I remember right.
Yeah, some of the manga supremacists say they should have made it about her doing loads of hunter warrior stuff instead of motorball.
Yeah, that was one of the complaints about the movie people had, was she goes and does this to kind of show off at the bar, like, woohoo, look what I got. Gets her ass beat by the big guy, and then they never touch on it again. So, I could see why people would, but it doesn't need to, it was never a big plot point anyway. So I think that's why they skipped it. We're like, okay, she's got the card. I'm going into the bar now. Look at me. Oh, I got humiliated, a little humbled. So they just figured moving on to the next thing, right? There was never a hunter warrior arc, really. So at least as far as I remember, anyway, there really wasn't an arc for her being a hunter warrior.
Well, that's after she humbled the rest of the bar first.
Right. That's kind of what I just left it at with that one, but.
Yeah.
Outside that, Tuned is probably my favorite version of her, just because of all the crap she can do during that time. I mean, yes, Imagino she can do more, but I like her little gadgets. I like the whole wandering loner in the desert thing.
Yeah. For me, it's a kind of a. For me, it's a tie between the Zot and Tuned. I think I like the Imagino's 2.1 body the best, and that's when she plays Zot. But I really like the Tuned arc because, first of all, she meets Figure 4. There's a lot going on in the Tuned arc, fighting against the Barjack and all that stuff, and I just think it's a really great arc, So for me, I would say a tie between those two for me. So,
right.
Yeah, Badman he says the Hunter Warrior stuff got edited out of the movie. Yeah, they chopped out a half an hour out of it. They also chopped out the training scene of Alita and Hugo training with the novelization.
Yeah, but you can see behind the scenes footage.
I think I think one of the reasons why I harp on the Toon Dark as much as I do is because knowing that the environment has changed so much for the movie, and even Calagritas said this, the Toon Dark is going to take place in South America, and that just sounds badass to me. Because
Yeah.
it's not going to be just desert and plain,
Yeah.
If I want to see that, I'll just watch Mad Max, right?
Yeah.
But they could even go into all the Mesoamerican.
Yes.
My brain's thinking leftovers, but you know what I mean. Ruins, leftovers.
Yes. There you go.
So there's
by the
so
way,
many cool things they could do with that.
Avronaut has got a really good point about the Ape movie being better than all this woke trash. And now I think you guys know how my political leanings are, but I really and we won't, you don't need to discuss that here, but I would say this: I wish they would keep that shit out of movies. I mean, at the instant they try to make Alita 2 more about the message than they do the story, that's going to be hard for me to take. Even as progressive as I am,
Yeah.
I don't want to see that shit.
That's the thing.
Yeah, I agree
These
with Avronaut.
movies,
Apes is better than a
most
lot of
of
other
Hollywood.
stuff.
Most of Hollywood has always been progressive. The issue people have is when it's gone so far off the deep end on stuff that both sides don't like, by the way.
Yeah, it's
And
just
it's
become
like, yo,
comical.
what?
Yeah.
It's
I agree.
But Elite is less at risk of that, I think, because it's based on this old property. They can't really make it too. They can't. Whereas a lot of this stuff that they're doing it with is stuff that's had loads of iterations. So like, what should we do next? Oh, I know, like a paraplegic minority Spider Woman or something. Do you know what I mean? Whereas with Alita, they haven't even made it once. So surely they're just going to make it as close to the source material as possible, which is obviously what Cameron and Rodriguez are doing. I don't think we need to worry about Alita gone woke. But obviously, the culture warriors on the right are probably going to any sniff of that. Like if they had paid attention to Alita before, they would have been making a big deal about the fact that Nurse Gerhard wasn't the like.
Yeah, I've gotten in trouble for pointing that out a couple times.
Yeah, I have too about that. But for me, when I see a movie, now you guys know I'm progressive, but when I see a movie, I don't want to see that shit. I mean, I see a movie for the story. I want to be entertained. I want to see action. I want to see that kind of stuff.
Alita just had that in spades.
Yeah, I don't want to. If I want to see something that's got a message and it's all about the message, I'll watch a documentary. I can do that, and I do watch documentaries from time to time. But I don't want to see.
I don't want to be lectured at in my entertainment, like by a bunch of annoying Karens.
Yeah.
Here's one for you. And I can link this back to Alita in general. So I'm not like going too far off the beaten track, but one of the more recent controversies is the new Romeo and Juliet movie with Tom Holland.
I was wondering if you were going to talk about that or the new Assassin's Creed or what. There's quite a few of them lately, aren't there?
Yeah, and I don't know why, but it's these really strange tweets that I make that just seem to go like nuts in terms of how many likes I get and stuff like that. And I basically said, I can't judge a movie when I haven't seen it, but like the previous version of it kind of ticks all the boxes and then some. And the previous version that I referred to was a movie called Romeo Must Die. And it goes even for those that might not be familiar, especially those in the live chat. Romeo Must Die.
I knew that. I had that on DVD.
Yeah, that's it's even more loosely based on the Romeo and Juliet story, but the female, quote unquote Juliet is, let's just say, African American, and the Romeo in this one is actual like Hong Kong Asian, and it's and funnily enough, instead of in place of the two warring families, it's two warring gangs, which is something that's a lot more
Kind of
prevalent.
interesting, I guess.
It's more relevant as well for our time period, if you will. And yeah, like that's what they focused on. You know, they focused on the two characters. They focused on the two like warring gangs and what they were fighting over, which I think was like property or money in general, sort of thing. And despite all that, you know, there's these like the Romeo and Juliet of the movie is getting caught in the crossfire between these two warring gangs, or in this case, warring families, if you will. And funny enough, they are families as like the Asian gang, if you will, is basically a collection of Chinese families that come together to create a business. Funnily enough, as without sounding too stereotypical, as Asians do, because you know they're very business minded. And the Juliet family also is running like a business or a company in this case, and like the daughter and the Asian son sort of thing, like they get caught in a crossfire. But anyway, getting back to the point, like they already like did the whole, you know, race swap and all this other jazz before it was cool, sort of thing, or controversial in this case.
Right.
And that's because they focused on the story. And when I say that I'll bring it back to Alita, that's exactly what they did here.
Yeah.
And to its advantage as well, like Alita is based off a older story as opposed to you know, an IP that's more new. Like the IP itself is what, 30 plus years old.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Disney's taking culture backwards, where we're trying to take culture, and so is Cameron trying to take culture forwards into like new franchises and stuff.
And
But
we're going to
because
keep
Disney-
doing that, Bloody.
Well, we're going to try, but we've got a big
We're
demon.
going to keep doing it.
In Disney on our hands.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, Lenny, I guess we kind of beat this one up, and various other topics we beat up pretty well, I think.
Yeah, no, it was good to have a talk about that.
Oh, absolutely. I think this is a great stream.
It's better to have it in the open. Better out than in, as they say.
Yes. Yeah, we need that sequel, Disney. Damn it.
Plus, it's good for me to practice actually talking about my grievances than just typing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
well, my final words is a two-parter. One, I just thought of a funny, like, it can either be in GIF form or like a YouTube short video form of there's a military aircraft called the A-10 Warthog.
Yes.
And basically it's just, you know, they say there's only 3 moving parts, but it's basically a minigun that can fly.
Yeah. That thing will shoot like 3,000 rounds a minute too.
And
it's really ridiculous.
Basically, one of the edits I was thinking of is like having like a A-10 Warthog do a flyby on a target, shoot its gun, except you like edit out the actual sound of the firing of the gun, and like every time it fires, you have like a sound clip of Vladi roasting Disney.
Yeah.
I could probably do that.
Yeah.
The neat thing about the A-10 with that gun, and even for that matter, the Apache helicopter, they both have Gatling guns on them. Those things can be outfitted, or those guns can be adapted to fire depleted uranium shells. So if you were to put, say, an A-10 Warthog up against, say, Godzilla, and that thing shot 3,000 rounds a minute of depleted uranium shells at Godzilla, there would be Swiss cheese down there on the ground. That's what it would be, So anyway, yeah, the Warthog is amazing.
And the other, like I said, because I said it was going to be, my last words are going to be a two-parter.
Yep.
It's also, I still find talking about other topics, whether it be, like Romeo Must Die, or whether it be Planet of the Apes or stuff like that, because it still boggles my mind anyway to this day, like how, no matter how big or how tiny the parallel is, there's always like a little bit of a leader in practically everything, and that's what makes her unique. That's what makes her, something very special, as Ito puts it.
Yes, indeed.
Right. So they're my last words.
Vladi, you got any last words?
Well, the main topic was just generally Alita, wasn't it? Just, I don't know, Alita forever. Those will be my last words.
Yes. How about you, John?
Oh, I think that's a wrap for me, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think my last words, what my last word is, we need that sequel. We want it to be all about the story. We don't want some message in there that
I wouldn't even worry about that. I wouldn't even.
I'm worried about it because I guess you're right, Vladi, because Cameron's not going to let that happen.
You really think Rodriguez is going to do that? I don't think Rodriguez doesn't seem that tight.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe it's just my fear, because I like the movie.
He loves putting like attractive women and stuff, and having them dance with snakes. He's not like woke. And I don't think Cameron really is either. He's just an old school hippie.
Well, I guess it's just my own personal fear, but I like Alita.
Obviously, we're all worried about like the reptilian Disney executives doing awful things to our girl, but I really think Cameron and Rodriguez, I think they're just going to stop them. Maybe I'm just an optimist.
Because like I was saying, I really like Alita Battle Angel so much that I just don't want them to fuck it up. I just don't want them. I want to see a good story.
Can you imagine what Disney could do if it was anyone else without Cameron's power? It's like we're lucky.
Yeah, we are. We're very lucky about that.
Unimaginable horrors, worse things than like what I've made with AI recently.
Yes, Angelus, I have seen.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
No, it was literally the abominations I posted where it gets all the like whole body proportions wrong and it turns into like an amorphous blob on the floor and it looks like she's screaming in pain. It's like
actually
got dark quick.
But Disney would do way worse to her if they could.
Yes, I agree, but it's my own personal fear of Lottie. That's all. I just don't want to see them fuck this up, because they have the capacity to do that for sure.
Obviously. I mean, Bob Iger's such an incompetent fool.
Yes. Well, I hope you're right about that in terms of them not fucking up Alita Fallen Angel or Avenging Angel for that matter.
$71.3 billion on 21st Century Fox. And they go and bury like the last movie that came out under that, which was literally like a masterpiece that they fucked up the release of. It's just mad. It's like unimaginable. But the crazy thing is like the media will never like talk about how this is actually a massive injustice. Yes. It's just like we live in such a clown world of epic proportions.
Have you seen the miniseries that's based off Bob Iger?
What?
It's called V.
Oh, well, when the aliens come in.
That's a joke, Lonnie.
No, totally. He probably literally is a reptilian.
V is a story came out in I think the early 80s, I think. About
no, they did a 2000s TV show as well. They did a TV miniseries, which I quite like. I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
Badman's corrected me about the Gal 19. He's right about that. It doesn't fire 3,000 rounds a minute. It fires a maximum of 2,000 rounds a minute, but that's still a lot. I mean, that's pretty destructive right there, so all right, guys. Well, I'm just going to say for my last thoughts is I want that sequel. I want the sequels. That's all I'm going to say. Disney, give us
sequels. Cameron swore a blood oath to make.
Yeah. God, I hope you're wrong about this, Avernaut. All right. Well, anyway, we're going to get away from the damn politics.
It doesn't matter in the slightest.
Let's get away from the politics.
Literally,
Oh, Lord.
it's not like either side could win and the same thing would happen.
The what, Bloody?
I'm just saying, like, just abandon all hope. Nothing matters. Let's end the stream.
Nope, I'm not abandoning all.
Not in Alita sequel. I was talking about the whole world and politics and everything.
Nah, I think we're going to get through this. That's my opinion. But anyway, did we miss anything? I hear Odd John laughing in the background.
Greek internally screaming right now.
Yeah.
The only thing that's missing are the Alita sequels.
That's right. And as you can see from that image in the center there, Alita does love her Uncle Creek. And that's because he wants those sequels, Disney. You give us the sequels. All right. So here's our queen right here, and goddess, I would say. Rosa, she's really great. She just portrayed Alita so wonderfully. I mean, it was great. I also want to give out shout outs to El Lamont and Jesse Fisher. They brought Screwhead to life, and we want to see them in Alita Fallen Angel, because I think in the sequel, I think what we would see is Alita forming the team to fight Joshigan, or they may have two teams. Who knows how they do this in the movie? They can change things around a little bit, but Screwhead can play. She can play motorball. I mean, she can do it. So I could see Screwhead and Alita maybe, making up somehow, and then Screwhead getting on Alita's team, and then they take on Joshigan and his team or whatever, And of course, I think all three of these ladies are really good at what they do for sure. But as I say every week, it sure doesn't hurt that they're pretty, because they are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think Rosa stole Sauron's rings.
Is she still what now?
Love those hoop rings.
What was that, Bob John? I didn't catch that.
She stole Sauron's rings from the Lord of the Rings.
Okay. What is
Rosa?
Rosa?
You know what I'm looking forward to? Okay, we still don't have the sequels yet, but at least we'll get to see like Rosa on red carpets and stuff again next year.
Right.
And she's going to look stunning, and hopefully she'll say something like, they'll have the media ask her, so when are you filming the Alita sequence? She'll be like, next summer, and everything will be good.
Yeah, I'd like to find a way to go down to San Diego at the Comic-Con, so I can, maybe, I don't know, they wouldn't let me ask a question probably, but I'd ask her, you got any news on the Alita sequel?
Well, I'd hope it would be more stage managed than that by Disney.
Yeah, it probably will be, because
if we're having to scream from the sidelines, then we'll probably, if that's going to be the case, we'll probably be like well into World War III, and we'll be like dead in a few months anyway.
Well, they do take
Vlad, just goes straight for the throat.
Well, they do take questions from the audience. I mean, if people go up to the microphone and ask, so maybe, who knows?
Yeah, but I feel like they're going to have a journo ask it, even if it's just to break the bad news, because Disney will want to get it all out of the way anyway at some point. They don't want it. They could, because Rose is obviously with them doing MCU and stuff now. They could easily get her to say, so any updates on Alita? But I'm really sorry, but it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do them or something. And then she'll be making MCU movies forever, and we'll just be like, the world will be over.
Get that talk out of here.
And I think Rosa, too, she got, I mean, there was that, I put together a video of some other video that other folks have done, but the way she trained to portray Alita, man, she had to put a lot into that. I mean,
obviously, that was one of the main motivations to me to fight for this movie, because she put in so much, and there was so much of her personality in that character, and they just made her into a work of art, and it was just so unjust. She basically got no acclaim at all. It's just fucking ridiculous. Never going to forgive critics, never going to forgive the media, never going to forgive Disney. They're all completely enemies of art and progress, cultural progress.
Angelus wants to unleash Vladi the Destroyer.
You should just fade me out and just end the stream one day when I'm just ranting.
Oh
Oh,
gosh.
that's what I said. That's the deal, Deathly Iger. Give us the Alita sequels and we'll leash as opposed to unleash.
Oh,
bloody
I see. Well, I
destroy.
thought you meant we're
Oh, I
gonna.
see what you
If
mean.
you don't give us the sequels, we're gonna
Yeah, it was a
unleash
bit
Lottie
confusing.
the
Word,
Destroyer.
word.
Oh gosh.
Vladdy the Impaler, shouldn't it be, Angelus?
Lottie the Impaler. Yes.
Because you know Vlad the
I still-
Impaler. God, you
Yes,
keep
I
that
know.
in
I'll
mind.
always,
Yeah, I know that.
I'll
I'm just
always
saying
call
that
him the Vlad Titan. Always.
you'd take it to the next level. You'd impale them multiple times to the point where you would just destroy them.
Impaling them with Alita facts. Your merger screwed this great movie out of its future. You are holding the cinema back from having like representation of Latinas and representation of people with limb difference, and they're just complete hypocrites.
You're
stop
holding
myself
back
'cause
the
I wanna go
lady
to bed
that's got
soon.
4 hearts under her face right now.
Yeah.
It's freaking injustice, man. It's a crime against like beauty and art and humanity.
I could stare at that picture all day.
Yes.
Fingers
There's
crossed
the
I
woo-woo
might
there,
even
isn't
get
there,
to
Angelus?
fingers crossed
Oh.
I might even get to see her in LA. Maybe.
Yeah. Or,
Or
maybe
if
she.
we're really lucky, in Austin, Texas.
Yes.
Wait, how
we're-
many places are you going, Angelus, in America?
Well, let me just pull up the list.
He's like, hold my beer.
Yeah. Hold my beer. Yeah.
You should totally visit Burbank and go to Disney HQ and do something there.
Do
It's a great
Doing
little
the
country,
hotel
isn't
is like, I think.
What did you say?
15 minutes.
Don't bedpost, John. What did you say?
My hotel, I think, is about a 10 to 15-minute drive from Disney headquarters. No
Oh,
joke.
fucking hell, that's well close.
Oh,
You
hell,
got to bring
that's
a
a-
banner or something.
That's an Uber ride, man. You could take that down.
Vlad's like, Vlad's coming up with all kinds of schemes to send you.
Yeah, I totally am right now. What can we do?
So
You could
I've
throw
got,
like a giant paper airplane in and have it with a message saying "Greenlight the Alita sequel."
Universal Studios, Disneyland, Vegas, Grand Canyon, casinos, multiple casinos.
Where are you staying in
Uh,
Vegas, Angelus?
Can't
I
tell
have
you
to
because
look
it
it
has to
up.
stay in Vegas.
I've got it on email, so
Oh, okay.
it'll take me like a good couple of minutes to look it up, but I'm more than happy to.
Now that's a
On
place
or
where,
off stream, it doesn't really bother me.
yeah, you do want to
So-
stay at a good hotel in Vegas, especially one that's like on the strip. You know, you want to stay on that. That way you can kind of walk up and down, you know, that kind of thing. So anyway, that's
Let me
just-
know if you get to meet Mr. House.
And then
Oh, yeah.
Troublemaker, Ontario, Niagara Falls,
Yes.
New York, Ground Zero, Statue of Liberty, Empire State.
Do you say Denver?
Uh,
You didn't say Denver, did you?
no, New
Oh,
York,
okay.
Ground
Because
Zero.
I knew at
How
one
many
time
stops
you
have
were
you got?
thinking about it.
Yeah.
How long is this trip?
3 weeks.
Damn.
Blimey, you're getting around.
Damn, he'll be an
Uh,
American by the time he
San
goes back to
Francisco,
Australia.
aka
Right.
Alcatraz, Golden Gate, and then back to LA and then back home.
Cool. Well, that's
Man, you're gonna be a tired mofo.
Yeah, you are,
Yeah,
but he's gonna have fun though.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you've got
I'll
to
be on.
go and take lots of pictures and stuff of your road trip.
Yeah.
I
And
should
we'll
really
My
make
we'll
picture
add
will be
it.
of Troublemaker Studios.
Yeah, we'll add
Yeah.
it. We'll add it to the stream too. Whenever you get back to Aussie land,
Yeah.
we'll
You should
throw
do a
some
Hell,
video.
videos up. Yeah.
If we're still desperate for our topics, we can just make it a Hunter Warrior's journey through
Exactly.
the US.
The
Yeah,
only
you should
reason
wear,
I've
like,
not
a
sent
GoPro.
more photos of mine is because I haven't bothered to make an edit with it yet. There's too many photos.
And vice
That's
versa,
awesome.
if you guys ever want to see if you can survive the 6 out of 10 most poisonous snakes and spiders in the world.
No thanks.
Wow. Bad man, do you
No, no.
know Cheyenne Mountain? No. Wow, that's amazing.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, that's in Colorado Springs. Yeah, you should. Yeah, bad man. You know your stuff, boy. All right, guys. Well, we've carried this
Yeah.
on long enough, I think. So anyway, I guess like I say, we want all three of these ladies back because they are great at what they do, and we want them in the sequel. Who's going to be the host for tomorrow, Angelus?
I mean, I'm available, so if like pretty much I'll put my name down, especially if Maxie wants a bit of a break.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we will both be there.
Anyway,
I should
it's
be
gonna
there.
I'm sorry.
I should make it if I could get a link before the stream tomorrow.
I'll send you a link,
Thanks, man.
and I'll update the show notes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So anyway, that'll be a good time tomorrow. We'll have a, I don't know if we'll be allowed to play the songs or not because they'll be copyrighted and that could get us in trouble.
Frustrating. We can't even hear the songs. That's so annoying.
Well,
Just
what
a
we
quick
could
Can you
do,
not play like 10 seconds of them or something?
no, it's the YouTube algorithms or the YouTube copyright scanner that does this. What we could do though,
Awful to
is
talk
if we
about
knew
music
what
and not be able
songs
to hear
were
them.
ahead of time, we could put the link in the chat and people could go play them while we're talking about it. We could do something like that. So
I tried posting mine in the chat and it actually wouldn't let me, which is really weird.
yeah, I'm the only one that can post something that has a link in it in the chat since I'm the producer.
Okay.
Yeah, it won't let you do it. But if you put something, let me see. You got something in the private chat here, John. Let me put that.
Yeah, I
in
wouldn't put that up. It'll get you taken down.
Oh, okay. So I won't put that out.
That's why I put in if you want to watch that after stream. That way you don't.
Yeah.
Because it absolutely will probably take you down.
Yeah, Bad Man says Cheyenne Mountain's in Horizon Zero Dawn. Absolutely. It's also in another movie, but not as Cheyenne Mountain. They called it Creek Mountain, which warms my heart. But that was in that movie. Gosh, now I had it on the tip of my tongue, and now I can't remember it. The Kurt Russell movie where they go to another planet through a portal, and it's Egyptian culture and all that stuff. What was the name of that thing? So anybody? Can you remember? Stargate. It was in Stargate. They called it Creek Mountain in Stargate, but when you saw the picture of the entrance, it said, "Yep, yeah." Bad Man says Stargate. Yeah, that's right. He caught up, or I caught up eventually. Bad Man, but yeah. Okay, so anyway, I went off on a tangent on that one. Anyway, join us for Radio Chaos tomorrow. We ought to have a good time with that one. And what I'll do is, if I can get some links, in the private chat, I'll put them out in the public chat, and people can play them as we're talking about them. So we can do something like that, probably.
Maybe we can say, okay, everyone, play the songs through headphones for 10 seconds. Just so then at least we've heard the songs or something. I don't know. That way they wouldn't be on the stream. I don't know. We can just talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, guys. So anyway, join us for tomorrow. And I guess why is this image here? Well, that image is there is because I like it, and I'm the producer and the stream manager. I'm two things at once. And to paraphrase Gruishka, I'm only here for our girl and the Alita Army. And of course, all of us in the Alita Army are only here for our girl. And with that said, that leaves one thing left to do. And that would be, on my count of three, we'll do the call to action. That would be 1, 2, 3.
Film those sequels,
baby. So anyway, we'll see you next week on the Alita live stream, and we will see you tomorrow on Radio Chaos. Bye.
See ya.
Peace.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita live stream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby. See you next time.